The 2021 LaSalle College High School football season is underway. Bob Long, appreciate him being with us. And we're going to have a great crew tonight. Going to have a great game tonight here, Chris, as well. A school that LaSalle has only played twice in its history and the first time in over 70 years. So, you know, not a lot to rely upon for these four-year players. But what we do know is LaSalle, one of the top 6A teams in the Pennsylvania state. And then on the Bishop McDevitt side, they're ranked number 2 right now in 4A. They got a lot of tremendous players. They're going to rely on a starting quarterback as a freshman. Stone Saunders going to be really interested to see what the youngster can do.
And he has a nice pedigree to him. His father is an assistant coach for the Baltimore Ravens, so I think he has a little football in his blood. But let's see what he does here on a big field against a big opponent.
A little bit more connection between these two schools, though, than those two meetings back in 1940 and beforehand. Bishop McDevitt, the 3rd Archbishop of the city of Harrisburg, also the first superintendent of Catholic schools in Philadelphia, an 1877 LaSalle College High School graduate and a member of the LaSalle Hall of Fame. So we bring the schools together here tonight. The uniforms are going to look very similar as well. Both teams joining gold helmets. Bishop McDevitt is going to be wearing navy blue up on the bottom and LaSalle white tops with the gold pants. But what I'm really interested to see for LaSalle, Chris, we heard before the game 2 starters for LaSalle won't play, and they're big ones. Abdul Carter on the defensive side of the football, Sam Brown on the offensive side of the football. 2 high Division I commits, 2 Big Ten commits. Abdul Carter recently to Penn State and Sam Brown to Rutgers. So in terms of who's going to take their place against a high-powered Crusaders team from Bishop McDevitt, LaSalle's going to rely on Dom Martin on the offensive side of the football. He saw a lot of time last year and really was able to provide a 1-2 punch to Sam Brown. And then Kevin Hawley will get the call at the weak side linebacker position. Matt Wills, as a sophomore, will back up there as well. But here's an opportunity, Chris, for this LaSalle team to find out what it's made of early on, first game of the season, and then grow in strength as those two guys return to the lineup in coming weeks.
Yeah, if they can have a great showing tonight without those 2 4-star recruits, I think this could be a really, really good season. This was a highly anticipated season, knowing that they had Sam Brown and Abdul Carter. We've seen them play for 3 years now, and we knew this, this season would come, their senior year. We knew that they would get recruited, land at big schools. They did. It's a little disappointing that they're not out here tonight because this is a great opening game. What a great venue, and we'll talk about that as the night goes on. But what a great place to play football on a Friday night. We're a little bit delayed, but I think the game's going to make up for that, and we'll see how they can play without those 2 stars. I think E.J. Wentz is another guy that on the offensive side is going to get a lot of touches. He played real well as a sophomore, not as much last year. It was kind of an odd season, but he played good as a sophomore. Let's see what he can do out there. And for the first time, I think quarterback, hurt in the first game, really in the first quarter last year.
Yep.
Never saw the field again, and I think he has something to prove.
There's no doubt about that, Chris, because Paterzo, he was going to be in a platoon or at least a quarterback competition. Maybe somebody would have won it eventually against Gavin Daly. The senior Daly ended up getting those snaps by default, and he had a fantastic season. Good for him, on to college now. But Paterzo coming off injury, an opportunity to really stake his claim as what we've seen many times. Our LaSalle quarterbacks in their senior year, without a ton of time beforehand, really coming up big. I think back to the guys like Danny Selecki. I think back to Gavin Daly, even last year.
You can go back as far as like a Matt McGarity or Chris Ferris that really rose to the, when they got there, there's a throwing court. And Ryan Sorge, both of whom are going to see a tremendous amount of time on the court this year. So let's see how they do.
Wide receiver core, and it'll be a deep team for this LaSalle football team this year.
I think I've improved as a competitor here at LaSalle because I'm always being pushed by coaches and by my peers. Seeing my peers work hard makes me want to work harder as well. No matter what your interests are, every single person here is going to make sure that you're able to fulfill your dreams and what you want to do. What allows us to keep winning is just our really strong sense of tradition and pride. We know that 30 years before us they won the PCL, so we're going to go out there and we're going to do our best to succeed like the guys before us did.
What does your character look like? Does it bounce back after each setback? Does it stand out by standing up? Does it make good on good intentions? Character is invisible until it's not. Only through action will the world know what it's made of, what you're made of. Find out how you can strengthen the character of your community alongside empowered veterans and families of the fallen at travismanion.org.
I say that LaSalle fuels my passion because it has such great programs with what I'm interested in.
LaSalle affords you the opportunity to get involved in as much as you possibly want to. There's tons of different clubs and activities with any different interest you could have.
No matter what you're doing, you'll be supported by your peers, and LaSalle will become a place that you love to go to and you will want to go to every day.
I think it was pretty easy to make friends. I feel like the most friends I made came through my extracurriculars.
What I love about LaSalle is you could make relationships with other people by getting out of your comfort zone. That's what LaSalle really teaches us, to be open and be open to meeting new people.
You're always going to gain something from clubs. Even if you find out that that club isn't for you, you're still going to pull something away from it, come out with new friends, have new connections.
Getting involved definitely helps you meet new people.
You want to come to LaSalle because you want to be able to explore. You want to be able to try a number of different opportunities we have to offer here.
You're going to really discover what it means to be not only a LaSalle gentleman, but also develop your own passions and have all these different opportunities to try things that you might not have had otherwise.
We welcome you back inside Bishop McDevitt High School, home of the Crusaders. The alma mater being played right now, the Bishop McDevitt alma mater, that is, and Audrey Versbicki will now sing the national anthem. After a long period of months and an extra hour and 15 minutes, it's time for high school football once again here on Bob Long Sports. Bob Long and Chris Carabello alongside AJ Carabello helping us out on camera today. Made the trek down from Penn State. Great to see him. And great to see a large contingent of that LaSalle band make the trek eastward as well. It is a wonderful LaSalle representation across the board here today. And Bishop McDevitt, more of the same. One of the best pregame atmospheres that I've seen anywhere. Bounce plexes, cornhole, a rock climbing wall right beyond the walls of the stadium. And as a result, a large turnout and an engaged student base that will make themselves heard here today. What a way to start high school football here in late August of 2021.
Yeah, I don't know if people can see this facility, this stadium, but it's really big. I mean, this is as big as a facility that we would play in. It's not quite the size of Northeast High School because I don't think the visitor stands are as big, but it's large. So, I mean, it's certainly going to add to the atmosphere. But, Bob, you're absolutely right. These fans, I mean, this is a school of about 725 students. They have a little over 300 boys, which makes them on their smaller end in 4A. But they brought a lot of their students out. They have a nice student section here. They had a nice band, and they have a lot of fans in the stands. I think football on Friday night is a big thing around here.
Yeah, especially coming off their season last year. They were 6-0, and COVID and other factors denied them a chance to make a run at the state title. So they haven't lost a game since October of 2019. This is a program that's ready to go here today, although the kid that has not been there for any of it is Stone Saunders, the starting quarterback, the freshman for Bishop McDevitt. Some big-time players have come through Bishop McDevitt in the past. A big-time running back school. Ricky Waters, back in the 1980s, played for the Crusaders. And then more recently, LaShawn McCoy, all-time leading rusher here, actually has the 2 single-season rushing records. So he's done it twice, over 2,600 yards in 2 seasons of his 4 on campus. And then for Penn State fans, Andre Robinson played football here. Didn't really get as much of a shot at Penn State. There were guys like Saquon Barkley and Miles Sanders in front of him on the depth chart. But Robinson, another tremendous running back here from Bishop McDevitt.
The other things people can't see here is would have been nice to see the teams come out from the cornfield.
Yes, that's right.
What people can't see is that we're surrounded by cornfields. Literally, I would say less than 100 yards from the edge of the stadium, from the track, there is just this entire property is lined with cornfields.
Well, and of course, maybe you're inspired by the baseball game that took place out in Dyersville, Iowa, between the White Sox and the Yankees just a few weeks ago.
What we have is an exciting game.
Well, Salle will kick this one deep. And it'll be Bishop McDevitt to get things started. Mario Easterly back deep to receive.
Santiago Sterla is going to kick off for the Explorers.
Jaleel Terry to the right. This one high and short. And caught there at the 15-yard line. Wrapped up. Bryce Enders made the catch. Tackle. And we're underway here.
On the return brought down by Chris Condy.
First look again, as mentioned, at Stone Saunders and the Bishop McDevitt Crusaders offense. Nate Kinsey will be the fullback. Marquise Williams, the starting tailback. Nate Kinsey is 6'2", 205. We'll see him on the defensive line as well, Chris. He's committed, and he's going to play at William & Mary. But that's going to be baseball. Big-time catcher and third baseman. He's going to go play baseball for William & Mary next year. And it looks like we might have Nevin Hopkins at quarterback, number 9. Thought it was going to be Saunders. We were told so. And they're going to take a deep shot. Easterly inside the 40-yard line.
Wide open.
No, that was Saunders.
Yeah, well.
Stone Saunders wearing number 8, Nevin Hopkins wearing number 9. It was a quarterback battle. An early claim from Saunders. They got one-on-one looks on each side, and they took the deep shot to the right.
He put the ball right on the money.
Williams, the deep back. And there's Easterly, or make that again, number 6, Rico Scott. Rico Scott, the sophomore at 6'1". Good blocking down the field by the wideout. Jeffrey Penn, the junior, at 6'2", laid that first block, and it was just enough. First down and 10 for the Crusaders, 28-yard line of LaSalle. Scoreless here in the first minute. Two in the backfield alongside Saunders. And they'll run that same play again. This is Easterly this time. Makes 2, miss, and he's inside the 25-yard line. Nudged out of bounds at the 21. A gain of 7.
Yeah, the throw was into the backfield, but Mekhi Johnson couldn't bring him down.
Knocked out of bounds at the 21, 2nd and 3.
Easterly is going to go play for former Penn State offensive coordinator Ricky Ronnie, who's now the head man at Old Dominion. And again, One-on-one coverage. Scott guarded by Jackson on our near side. The first touch of Marquise Williams' night goes forward for a gain of about 1.5, maybe 2. It'll be short, 3rd down and about a yard.
Number 26, Marquise Williams on the carry for a short gain, brought down by Matt Willis.
That's Rob Pugliese, public address announcer that you hear over the loudspeaker here. 3rd down, 1 yard to go.
Well, Stone Saunders does not look like a freshman out there.
No, he does not.
Making an audible.
Fullback Bryce Enders in the backfield. He'll lead with the block, and Marquise Williams has the first down. Skittered past the first would-be tackler. Crusaders marching down the field.
Marquise Williams gains 4 for the first down, brought down by Daniel Ford.
Across the line, Ethan straining at the right tackle position. Isaiah Reynolds, Cameron Zangle, Dimitri Chacon, and Gabe Arena at the left tackle spot. Saunders avoids one and is pulled down by the jersey. Nicely done there. First contact by Daniel Ford. One more look.
Stone Saunders sacked by number 52.
Just hanging on that whole time.
He stretched his jersey out a good 4 feet.
Loss of 6 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 16.
It's a big stop there by LaSalle, Chris. Now the ball back at the 22-yard line. 2 downs to go here, but that would be 39 yards. With a lot of wind swirling here tonight.
Oh, and as we mentioned before the start of the game, Abdul Carter, LaSalle's standout defensive player, not in the lineup tonight. So the linebacker core takes a little bit of a hit.
Faking the give. One-on-one coverage, lobbing it up for the end zone. And it's incomplete. There were 2 receivers in the area, Easterly and Scott. Neither of them could come down with it.
No.
That ball's got to be out, I think, a little bit earlier, Chris.
Yeah.
And you wonder if somebody ran an incorrect route because you don't want to end up in the same place on a route like that.
2 guys going for the ball, and I think the one interfered with the others to get it.
Well, and you bring a second defender into the mix as well. So big play early on.
It'd be big if the Explorers could get a stop here.
8:58 on the clock. First quarter action. Saunders with that jersey now hanging from his side. Takes the shotgun snap, throws it into the flat. Williams there and gets a gain of just a few.
Yeah,
so
back to the
called a
original
gain of
line
4.
of scrimmage, basically.
Yeah, about 4th and 13, and now decision time. Get one more look, and there's the outlet that time, Williams.
The wind is really swirling. I mean, we can really feel it here.
Yeah, it feels like from the kicker's perspective, at his back from the right, but some pretty significant crosswinds. Mikey Chia, the left-handed kicker. It's up, has enough distance, and misses to the right. So LaSalle bends, does not break. A great first drive by Stone Saunders, but they went backwards in the final stages of the drive.
He marched them 60 yards, but then they went backwards.
So now Alan Paterzo, for the 2nd consecutive season, LaSalle's going to welcome him onto the field as their starter. Did not last long. Last year got injured in the first half of the first game. That ended up being a win against Manheim Township. And that was a big win at the time, Chris. A lot of big names there. Anthony Ivey going to Penn State next year. That was a big win, and Paterzo was a big part of the early stages. Gavin Daly took over, ended up having a great season. Here's the jet sweep to Ryan Moore. Met at the line, but does nudge forward for about a half a yard. Well defended that time by McDevitt.
And this is where Sam Brown's going to be missed. Because that would have been a play they would have run to Sam Brown.
Ryan Moore's going to be a big part of the offense this year, though. He's a guy that can take a direct snap. He's a guy that can run that jet sweep and also a guy you can run down the field.
And then he gives you things on defense, too. So
a great safety.
Yeah. Great two-way player.
In fact, there's more in the huddle directing traffic. So it might be our first look. Here it is. Dom Martin, the starting running back in the backfield alongside Ryan Moore. Not your traditional quarterback, more of a wildcat look. And now he does take it off tackle. Taken down at the 23-yard line, but maybe that knee didn't go down. Good for him.
Nope.
Keeps on churning.
Had momentum. Gets out almost to the 30.
We'll get one look here. At 50% speed, somehow keeps his footing. Give him a gain of 7. It's 3rd down and 3. It's Paterzo. Dom Martin in the backfield along him. 2 receivers to the near side. They busted up the gut. They needed the 30. He's got that ball down right on the line. It's going to be dependent on the spot.
Dom Martin, number 2 on the carry.
And it does not get.
And you know what? There's some confusion here. They're moving the sticks, and LaSalle's coming up as if they thought they needed to run a quick 4th down play. But it is a 1st down and 10 for the Explorers.
And he got him to jump.
1st and 5.
So in the confusion, Paterzo also got him to jump. So,
well, and that's a veteran play there. I know he hasn't seen a ton of snaps under center, or in that case in the shotgun, but a really great play. Whether or not Bishop McDevitt recognized that there had been a 1st down signaled at that point, there's no doubt that they were aggressive there as if they needed to stop and that it might have been snapped quickly. Paterzo, a great job to take advantage of that aggressiveness.
Bob, the wind has really kicked up here. So it'll be interesting to see how that would affect the ball on the field. Can Paterzo throw the ball?
Wentz in the backfield as they take a shotgun snap, throwing on the out route. Oh, what a catch.
Well, I guess he can.
Brilliant play that time by Ryan Moore. Another look there, the hitch on the near side. Takes that cornerback out of the play, and a great play there by Ryan Moore to get to the outside. 1st down and 10 for the Explorers, just on the other side of midfield. And we've seen this a couple times here, Chris. A lot of zero coverage here. Cover 0 for Bishop McDevitt. 2 guys got taken down, and Ryan Moore couldn't find himself away, so Paterzo gets hit behind the line.
Yeah, and he's got to get rid of that ball. There was just no one to throw to.
Yeah, it looked like Moore as well as Noel Henry got taken down the field. 2nd and 15 upcoming, 6:24 and ticking here in the first, a scoreless contest.
That was as much of a coverage sack as it was a penetration sack.
Moore on the near side, 3 receivers on the far side. This time they do back up 1 safety. Paterzo lobs it and has Dom Martin who drops the football. That was 6.
Yeah, Dom Martin could not have been more wide open. Look at this. Nice throw. Hit him on the hands.
Well, and that's one that we've talked over the last couple of plays here, but we've seen it every defensive play, either one or in this case no safeties behind. And if you're comfortable throwing the ball deep and you can get your guys into one-on-one situations, they're packing a ton of guys into the box. There's an opportunity to beat this McDevitt team down the field.
Now you have a big 3rd down play here.
Paterzo, he'll take another shot, another open man, but that one was overthrown. Intended for Ryan Sorge.
Again, Sorge got behind the defender, but the pass was long.
LaSalle will bring out the punter, Santiago Sterla. If you are LaSalle, you do have to be encouraged, though, with a couple of the looks you've gotten over the top. Of course, disappointed that you didn't get them. And you've had 2 offensive drives where there was certainly success and certainly opportunity on both sides to punch the ball in. Neither did. We're scoreless with 5:54 to play in the first.
I think there's a flag on the play. I think McDevitt had too many men on the field.
A legal substitution penalty will be marked off 5 yards against Bishop McDevitt.
Sterlo, the punter, wearing number 5 this year. Wore 37 last year, but one of the best legs in the area without a doubt. And that's a line drive kick. It's going to get under the wind, take a LaSalle hop. And he did not touch it. That was close.
It was close.
Mario Easterly playing with fire on the Crusader side of the football. One more look as he
had no reason to go near that ball.
Thinks better of it at the last instant.
Scoreless punt. Rolls net at the 15. 5:39 to play in the first quarter. Scoreless. McDevitt takes over first and 10 at its own 15.
Clock reads 5 minutes 39 seconds. Nothing. As Stone Saunders brings the offense back out onto the field.
Let's see how the Explorers can defend against the pass on this series.
The jet sweep to Easterly, and LaSalle strings that one out pretty well. It'll be a gain of 4. But the big play threat that is Easterly quelled at least for that particular play.
Yeah, and Amir Anderson was able to stay with him and force him out of bounds. Interesting watching the mirror uniforms.
Indeed. Williams in the backfield, along with a fullback and the quarterback Saunders. And I think we're going to have a false start there. They tried to draw LaSalle offside, didn't bite on the hard count, but some confusion on the O-line. So it'll be 2nd down and 10, back to that original line of scrimmage.
It'll be 2nd and 10.
Other big games tonight, Chris. One in particular has my eye. Imhotep Charter traveling out to Pittsburgh to take on Pittsburgh Central Catholic.
Wow. And we'll see Imhotep Charter on
September the 11th.
Yes,
indeed.
Homecoming game. So they'll come to Springfield High School to play the Explorers.
The give is right up the middle. And LaSalle able to make the play. Great job that time.
And there's a big game locally. Governor Mifflin is playing who? I don't know, but there's a lot of reporters here that couldn't get to that game, so they've kind of jumped up here into the booth with us.
Matt Wills, the sophomore, makes the tackle on that one. We talked about Abdul Carter not playing tonight. Kevin Hawley and Matt Wills both going to get time at the weak side linebacker position. Great job by the sophomore there. These coaches are excited about him. Brother of Ryan Wills, who's a preferred run-on at Penn State. He's a freshman now. Wearing number 61 for the Nittany Lions. If you're up there at Beaver Stadium, look out for him. A fan favorite and a personal favorite of ours here as well. 3rd down and 8. They fake the give on the motion, and they somehow get the throw off. This is going to be tough for Rico Scott, though, as he's run out of bounds. Tremendous defense by the LaSalle Explorers.
Stone Saunders barely got that off. I mean,
quite frankly, a tremendous play to do so.
I mean, a split second, and he's on his back with the ball.
Pushed out of bounds by 91. Kieran Campbell will be 4th down and 8.
He's playing with a tremendous amount of poise for a freshman, Bob.
I am very impressed. Ryan Moore back deep. Is that Moore back there? Looks like it. Back deep to receive. LaSalle nearly got there. A big-time block. Nearly hit the punter. And it'll take a sideways hop right at the midfield stripe. And that's where LaSalle will take over on offense.
I don't know how that ball didn't get blocked.
Tell you what, that blocker did a good job at the point of attack, because that LaSalle came in free on that one. 4:20 to go first quarter. It is scoreless. A lot different, it would appear, than LaSalle's opener last year, as they took it to Manheim Township pretty early on in that one.
A similar distance to travel.
Paterzo straight back. Another look over the top, and he had his man again. Didn't hit him. Another one there where Sorge might have had a shot. Sorge, a big guy, big, tall guy. Maybe a little bit of air under that one might have been the difference there. But I like LaSalle taking the shots. I like what Alan Paterzo's seeing out there. He's reading the defensive backs really well, and one of those is going to hit.
Well, he's certainly seeing the field.
Absolutely.
I
And
mean,
they talk about that with him, how intelligent he is as a quarterback, a coach on the field. Nice run by Stevie Davis. Breaks one tackle across the 40, and now inside the 35. Breaks another one.
He could go.
15, 10, 5. Welcome to the game, Stevie Davis, the super sophomore.
Number 1, Stevie Davis, 50 yards for the South College touchdown.
Brilliance by Stevie Davis. He may be a little guy, but he broke 3 tackles.
He stayed on his feet, kept his balance, got to the outside, and he was gone. He's a tremendous athlete. Showed it there.
Under Armour All-America is a face-off guy in lacrosse as well.
I heard his best sport is soccer. It'll be interesting to see if he kicks. He can also kick off.
How about that? Santiago Searle is going to take care of those duties for now, as he is as good as it gets in this area, kicking from the left-hand side. 7-0 Explorers lead. 4 minutes left in the first.
Well, he got some kicking time last year. Second half of games where the Explorers were up, he was out there, particularly for the kickoffs. I think that's the kind of thing that can give the Explorers confidence. Not having Sam Brown and Abdul Carter in the lineup to see that they can score.
Before we get back underway here, this portion of today's game brought to you by Keith Binsfeld of the Binsfeld Lending Team at Cross Country Mortgage. It is still a great time to refinance your mortgage. My wife and I are looking at it right now, in fact, the different options. And Keith is a great guy, real professional. He'll walk you through every step of the process, and better yet, he's a LaSalle College high school graduate. So keep it in the family. If you haven't refinanced your loan, it's a great time to do so. Keith Binsfeld at the Binsfeld Team at Cross Country Mortgage. Santiago Sturla will kick it deep. Mario Easterly is the back man. He's got his toes on the 1-yard line.
Hard to tell. We have a great perspective. We're very high up in the stand, so it's hard to say which way the wind's blowing, but I think he's kicking into the wind.
Here comes Easterly, toppled at the 25-yard line. LaSalle covering these kicks well early on. You know, I'm looking at the flags, Chris. You can see the flags. It's really coming off the side, backing from the right.
Easterly on the return, brought down by Edward Sutter Jr. McDevitt first and 10, that's on 27.
First and 10. And out comes Saunders.
I'm curious to see if they try to attack the LaSalle secondary. It could have been by complete surprise on that first throw of the game, but
there's the give, and Williams made one miss. Now there's a lot of open field, taken down at the 39-yard line.
Yeah, Chris Thompson did a nice job of catching up with him.
26, Marquise Williams carries for 12 and a first down. First and 10 at the 39, Kieran Campbell. And Chris Thompson on the stop for the Explorers.
3:25 to go, clock ticking. First down and 10 for Bishop McDevitt as they drive at their own 39. Timeout called by Bishop McDevitt, and it looked like it might have been a substitution issue as head coach Jeff Wechter is hot on the sideline.
Yeah, that's what happened earlier. They had that illegal substitution and ended up costing them 5 yards on the punt. Same thing here.
Station Tap House in Doylestown, a new sponsor here on Bob Long Sports. The Wade family Very excited about this LaSalle football season and hope that you'll support them. It's a great place right at the train station in Doylestown, and it's a wonderful place to watch a game, have a party, or just get out at the end of the week. That's the Station Tap House, run by the Wade family, a good LaSalle family, and that restaurant's in Doylestown, right by the train station.
The stands have filled in nicely here.
No doubt about it.
A nice crowd, a great student section. Oh, that's going to cost them 5.
And that's Easterly coming off the line from the slot early. It'll be first down and 15, backing them up to the 34.
So they called the timeout to save getting the 5-yard penalty, ended up getting it anyway.
Yeah, that's a mental mistake, and Wechter will not be happy. What a play that is.
Nice.
Daryl Dengo in the backfield. Marquise Williams with a loss of 1. Third down, make that second down. 16, 3 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. It's a 7-0 lead for LaSalle. Bishop McDevitt in the navy blues. LaSalle in the white tops. Helmets, just about the same. Indistinguishable from up here. Saunders fires over the middle. Might have gotten it back to the original line of scrimmage. Nice catch there by Mario Easterly. Might have been Rico Scott, number 6, in there.
Yeah, Matt Wills with a nice tackle there.
I tell you, that little piece of white fabric at the bottom left of the number and making it 5 or 6, tough to distinguish, Chris. Third down and 10. 2:09 to play. Jeffrey Penn splits out wide. 3 receivers to the far side. He looks a little confused there. Now he does come to a set position. And they're going to run that screen. LaSalle jumps it, nearly intercepted. It is incomplete and 4th down.
If that ball had stayed in the air another second, that could have been 6.
Broken up by number 3, Amir Anderson. It'll be 4th and 10.
Amir Anderson jumped that route. They tried to run 2 streaks to take those cornerbacks with them and maybe take Anderson with them. He did not bite.
Rob Moore deep for the Explorers.
And that one they did get. They got a piece of it. Oh, the referee's going to say no. Out comes the flag. Boy, if that was tipped, then that's not a flag. But they say no contact with the ball.
Oh, he's calling it.
And they say running into the kicker.
John Steinmetz not happy on the other side. He wants to talk.
Well, I think he's got a case.
Running into the kicker on LaSalle College will be 5 yards.
But because it's running into and not roughing the kicker, it'll still be 4th down.
Bob, I don't know how that ball wasn't blocked. He had to have gotten a piece of it.
But nonetheless.
Guess we can't see that on the replay.
Not at this juncture.
We need one of those trucks.
Yeah, we have replay. It's just got to be pretty quick after the play. Moore comes to get it. And there's the flag coming in there.
There we go.
Special teams on both sides. A little less than crisp.
Kalinowski's punt out of bounds at the LaSalle 34. Flag down on the play.
So this will be kick-catch interference. The laundry lays at the 32. So this will be accretive from there. Now they're asking LaSalle whether they'd like to have them re-kick it or if they want to step off the yardage from the 32.
What would you do? I would have them re-kick.
I might as well.
I think he's struggled to get the ball off.
And I would say that was a decent kick as well.
Yeah. I think the Explorers are going to take the ball.
Yeah, it looks that way. So they're going to step it off from the 32. It'll be 1st and 10 for LaSalle, already with a 7-0 lead on the backs of about 45 yards and a touchdown from Stevie Davis, the sophomore.
Personal foul, Bishop McDevitt will be marked off 15 yards.
Explorers are going to start right at around the 47-yard line.
And you see how things change on something like that. I mean, if you're not going to call the tip, and in practicality it might not have been tipped, as crazy as that sounds. It could have been 15, but they said running into 5. And now LaSalle moving on the plus side of midfield after a 15-yard special teams penalty on Bishop McDevitt. 1:26 and counting here in the first.
Yeah, Paterzo rolled out, found his man, a little cutback.
3 receivers near side, ball on the far hash. E.J. Wentz, the fullback, in the backfield alongside the quarterback Paterzo. And it is Wentz right up the gut, breaks a tackle and runs through it. It'll be 3rd down and 1 from the 44.
A solid carry from E.J. Wentz. Found the hole.
Well, they know what they have in Wentz, which is a big, bruising back who loves to get in between the tackles, embraces the contact.
That's close to a 1st down.
He needs 1.
3rd and 1.
He's trying to draw him off.
Discipline this time from Bishop McDevitt on the hard count. An audible here at the line.
See if he throws the ball.
Paterzo scrambles. Got to get rid of it. And that might take the 4th down out of the equation. A loss of 2. It'll be 4th down and about 3. Now the punting unit comes on.
If he throws the ball out of bounds, they can go for it on 4th and what was less than 1.
So Santiago Sturla will kick it deep.
That's the end of the first quarter.
At the end of the first quarter, your score.
And that's the right decision there for LaSalle. Wind coming off at your back from the right once you make the switch there.
Crusader fans, please be respectful, collect any trash, throw away trash in your seating area.
This portion of today's game brought to you by Jim and Carrie. That's Jim McLaughlin, Carrie Guerin Boyle of the Carrie Guerin Boyle real estate team, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Fox and Roach Realtors. Market is still hot. You need a professional if you're looking to buy or sell your home to manage you through the process, and Jim and Carrie are exactly that. They're located in Jenkintown, but they can help you all throughout Pennsylvania and southern New Jersey. Again, that's Jim McLaughlin and Carrie Guerin Boyle, both good LaSalle folks at the Carrie Guerin Boyle team at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Fox and Roach Realtors.
So Santiago Sturla standing at his 40, and he'll get the punt off.
A high end-over-end kick. It's going to land and coffin corners inside the 5.
Nice punt.
Sturla, they're going to mark it right at the 5-yard line. Brilliance that time by the senior kicker.
A great hang time. The Explorers were able to get coverage under the ball.
Where McDevitt will take over 1st and 10.
A little ominous out here, folks, as day turns to night. But I don't know if it will be quite as dark if not for some storm clouds around us.
Certainly an interesting sky. Got a lot of different colors.
Yeah. See a lot of gray behind us, but sure.
I'm looking ahead.
Yeah, that's
right. I see color.
Optimist.
Behind,
You're the optimist.
Not so much.
All right, it's 1st and 10. From their own 5, Bishop McDevitt hands it off, and Dengo in the backfield. That's going to be a loss of 2 yards.
Darrell got into the backfield and made a big tackle.
And that's twice on his accord that he's made big plays in the backfield, but even on those plays where he's not, you can tell on that front four he is a difference maker.
And he was a big difference maker even as a freshman. Coming in, you could tell he was going to be a player. Last year in a pandemic-shortened season, it was tough to get a read on him, but he's quite a player.
Now a junior, Dengo, a guy that if he wants certainly can play at the next level.
I think he's going to get a lot of looks.
2nd down and 12, play action, and they're going to take a shot. They have a man open. A flag comes in late. Easterly, as they're going after the ball, it takes them down at the 49-yard line. Let's see what this flag is.
Yeah, Amir Anderson needed to turn around.
But another look where they didn't have a safety on that side of the field. We saw it with Bishop McDevitt defensively, where LaSalle has had shots over the top. And this will stand.
Yeah, there's going
a defensive holding call.
Flag for defensive holding on LaSalle College is declined.
Early 2nd quarter action and a big play there by Bishop McDevitt, since their first drive of the game where they got inside the LaSalle red zone.
Yeah, that's twice that they've been able to throw deep into the LaSalle secondary.
Well, you're absolutely right, Chris. Same guy, Easterly, and it was the very first play of the game without a safety deep. They're going to go back to him. Goes up to get it. Great play. And that's going to end up being about 8 yards, 7 yards maybe when it's all said and done. But what they're doing, Chris, is LaSalle's playing cover one right now. You have one safety deep, and they're going trips to the far side of the field every time. Mario Easterly, he's that true X. He's going to be on his own side of the field, and you're going to put Amir Anderson into a one-on-one situation. Let's watch this battle all night long.
And Amir Anderson's a nice defensive back.
Absolutely.
I just don't know if he can do this on one-on-one coverage.
Now LaSalle does bring a second safety in a nickel look at just the two linebackers. Marquise Williams taken down at that line of scrimmage. Nice job by Wills in there on the stop. Along with number 94, Brendan O'Connor, the junior defensive end. I do like what we've seen from Matt Wills here tonight, Chris, on the weak side. Played some good snaps. He's had a nose for the football. Of course, if you didn't join us at the top of the broadcast, Abdul Carter, the Penn State commit, not playing here tonight. Sam Brown on the offensive side of the ball also not playing. Now LaSalle brings the rush. He heaves it deep, and that's not even close. Great job. Again, it was Wills in the backfield.
You got to give Saunders credit for getting rid of that ball.
Safely.
Makai Johnson on the coverage for LaSalle College. It'll be 4th down.
The Explorers are going to get the ball back.
And Makai Johnson was the deep safety that time as well, Chris. So nice job to adjust by that LaSalle secondary and the coaching staff. 9:13 to play, 2nd quarter. A driving kick. Moore comes up to get it, and fair caught right at the 14-yard line. A good game here this evening. We knew it would be. Bishop McDevitt, number 2 in the 4A rankings. LaSalle, it depends who you ask, but one ranking had him at number 9 in 6A. If you go by Max Prep's computer-generated rankings, LaSalle is number 2 in the 6A. I'll give anybody 3 guesses, and the first 2 don't count as to who number 1 is at the 6A. That would be the arch rival St. Joe's Prep. Reloaded for another great year.
That needs to go unsaid. They are.
No Kyle McCord, no Jeremiah Trotter Jr., though they have Josiah, and no Marvin Harrison, but this team's defense will be really, really good this year. Stevie Davis cuts up field, but strung out extremely well by Bishop McDevitt. Loss of 1 for Davis, who recently went for 45 yards in the game's only score.
Stevie Davis hit for a loss by Ryan Russo with some help from Riley Rebell. 2nd and 11.
Screen pass. Davis is there and cuts into the middle, into the waiting arms of the Crusaders defense. It'll be 3rd down. Another loss of 1. It'll be 12 yards to gain.
Pass to Davis. Hit for a short loss by Jalil Terry and Zach Hare.
Jalil Terry in there on the stop for Bishop McDevitt. 7 minutes, 57 seconds to go.
Let's see if Paterzo tries to throw downfield. He had some success. He was just high.
Again, no safeties. A cover 0. See if LaSalle has a shot. They do have a shot down the field. Ryan Moore brings it down. Rico Scott in defense, and LaSalle continues to attack this cover 0 over the top, Chris.
And that time he put it right on the number 8.
I do wonder if Bishop McDevitt's going to have to come out of that at some point.
I mean, they got lucky in that Paterzo threw high on the other 3 passes, and Ryan Sorge is a big target.
And a nice play out there. Great seal on the outside. Ryan Moore taken down after a gain of 5, and now a late flag comes in. LaSalle, they clap on their sideline.
Yeah, we're going to get a late hit. So we're going to have an unsportsmanlike on Bishop McDevitt.
The first seal was really good by Ryan Sorge, but a downfield block, I think, was missed maybe just a little bit. Sorge, make that Moore could have had a lot more.
You got a face mask call.
But that 15 yards absolves that missed block, and LaSalle in business offensively.
Down to the 37-yard line. The Explorers are in striking distance.
Big moment in this game, because if we are looking at storm clouds behind us, and we don't want to jinx anything, of course, but we don't believe in the broadcaster jinx, so if that's going to come, though, having a 2-possession lead could be helpful. Timeout on the field.
Yeah, that radar is highly overrated.
Overrated?
Yeah, that green stuff that's coming across the screen from the west. We had it.
I have no idea of what you speak.
I overheard one of the reporters talking about the weather on the radar.
Boy, there's only 2 defenders on the far side, 3 receivers, and that's because Ryan Moore is in the Wildcat, takes off inside the 20. There is a flag back at the 34-yard line in the area of holding.
Yeah, it's going to come back.
Ryan Moore on the keeper.
That would have been an opportunity if Paterzo was in the backfield to throw the ball.
Considering, of course, that Bishop McDevitt might also have lined up differently if it was Paterzo.
True. That'll bring them back to about the 45-yard line.
And first down at about 17 yards.
First down and 16 from the 44.
Here's a shotgun snap. It's Stevie Davis up the middle, met there at the 41-yard line after a gain of 3.
Number 4, Colin Wade on the carry. Hit by Ryan Russo.
Colin Wade got, no, I don't think that's right. No, that was Stevie Davis. 6 minutes left to go here in the second quarter. It's LaSalle 7, Bishop McDevitt 0. Game number 1 here of the high school football season on Bob Long Sports. Paterzo drops straight back, has another shot over the top. Ryan Moore, but I thought that, boy, it looked like that jersey was held from behind, didn't it, Chris?
I don't know how no one saw that.
It'll be 3rd down and 14, but that shot is there. Mario Easterly getting a dose of his own medicine. He's beaten LaSalle over the top twice. That time he was beaten by a step and then some by Ryan Moore. A little tug brings him back closer to home.
Yeah, you can hear the LaSalle coaching staff in the booth about the same jersey being held.
Dom Martin, the running back, is split out wide at the X position here on our near side. Good protection there by LaSalle. Nice throw, back shoulder catch.
Nice catch.
And incomplete, pushed out of bounds. I think that's the right call. E.J. Wentz, what a play that was. But a good job timing it by Jaleel Terry defensively to knock him out of bounds.
Just didn't get the feet in.
Conservative pass for Wentz. Incomplete. It'll be 4th down and 13 for LaSalle College.
Santiago Sterlo, let's see if he can continue to make this a field position battle here. He threw a dart out of bounds inside the 5-yard line last time. Sterla again angles it that direction. It's going to go out of bounds. I'm guessing this is up by about the 17-yard line, and up comes the official. He's got it all the way up at the 20. That's where Bishop McDevitt will take over.
McDevitt will take over 1st and 10 at its own 20 with 5.
McDevitt's success has come over the top. Marquise Williams, he was a big name we talked about coming in, and no doubt at any moment he could find his way to the 2nd level. That hasn't happened yet. But Mario Easterly, a huge day on the receiving end from Stone Saunders.
Amir Anderson has his hands full there.
If you haven't been with us from the jump, Stone Saunders, a freshman quarterback for Bishop McDevitt. A lot of excitement about him, but this is the running back, and a great job. Darryl Dengho again. Darryl Dengho into the backfield for a loss of 1. And again, that was Williams, just unable to get moving downhill so far tonight, Chris. 5:11 to play here in the first half. It's a ticking clock. 2nd down and 10 yards to go. Easterly and Scott on the near side as we see it. 2 backs in the backfield. And it's delay counter, and LaSalle up to task again. A gain of just 2 for Marquise Williams.
Explorers have defended the run very well tonight. Take away the 2 long passes, and their defense has been extraordinary.
4 minutes, 30 seconds to play in the first half, and LaSalle has an opportunity to get the ball right back. Wind coming at just about exactly cross. Maybe a little bit off from LaSalle's side coming towards that Crusader end zone. But not a huge advantage either way. Saunders runs out of time. Big time sack, big time loss, all the way back to the 13-yard line. Dengho in there on the play again. Thompson in there as well. Kieran Campbell got into the mix.
And they had him from every side. There was no way he could get rid of that ball.
4th and 17.
Now Ryan Moore has his heels on the Bishop McDevitt 47-yard line. LaSalle should get good field position here. They've also almost gotten to the punter twice.
This would be a nice time to get to him as he's standing in the end zone.
High snap, and he does get it off nicely. Line drive kick, so a lot of room for Ryan Moore. Makes 1 miss inside the 40-yard line and runs through somebody out to the 36.
The other thing the Explorers have done a real good job of tonight is they've kept this crowd out of it.
Cam Childs lost his helmet on the stop, and I hear you, Chris, no doubt about it.
The student section, the band, the fans. I mean, this is a fairly full stadium, and that's not even taking in consideration all the people standing alongside the fence or outside the fence. Be nice to see if the Explorers could put 6 on the board, 7 on the board.
But there's no doubt that this Bishop McDevitt team has a ton of firepower, Chris. On one play, that could all change. Got ourselves a great high school football game to open up the 2021 season. E.J. Wentz, the fullback, Dom Martin, the deep back, and a pistol look. Alan Paterzo at quarterback. Right up the middle to Martin. Great seal block that time, cutting inside. And Dom Martin, that'll be enough for a first down. Continues to move forward.
He stayed on his feet. Took three Crusaders to pull him down.
So we'll give him 14 yards on that carry. 3:09 to play, Chris. And something to think about there.
Good enough for a first down at the 23.
They do put a safety deep now. Mario Easterly, one of the first times we've seen that. So an adjustment made on their side, and LaSalle, as a result, running it right up the middle, and a shoestring tackle kept E.J. Wentz from going further. A great job by number 65 there. Riley Rappel.
Yeah, if he doesn't get him around the ankles.
But that's the chess match, and that's the great thing about football on both sides. You're seeing LaSalle make adjustments after Bishop McDevitt puts the safety deep, and I think we'll see that seesaw all night long. Both defenses have played great. 7 points on the board total. Dom Martin up the middle for a gain of about 2. That'll be 3rd down and 6. Clock ticking, 2 minutes, 22 seconds to play in the half.
Explorers in a hurry-up offense. See if they can get him to jump off sides.
Yeah, they do say 3rd and 5, so they'll drop straight back. And a good look for Moore. He dropped it inside the 5-yard line. He was trying to catch, turn, find the pylon. But instead, 4th and 5, and decision time here for LaSalle.
That's a second ball dropped by an Explorer receiver that would have resulted in 6 points.
Sterla stays on the sideline.
Interesting.
On a windy night, they're electing to put the ball in the hands of Alan Paterzo. Or maybe it was a hard count gone wrong. So now truly decision time, and Sterla is out there on the field now. Take it to about a 40-yard field goal.
Remember, Bishop McDevitt had a similar field goal attempt on their first possession that they missed left. Short left.
It'll be exactly 40 yards. Wind a bit with them, but whipping hard from his right. That has plenty of distance. And it is no good. Wide left. 1:54 to play. And LaSalle, bit of an execution trouble there as they lose 5 yards on a false start on what was 4th and 5. The 40-yard field goal goes begging. And Bishop McDevitt, the defense, bends but does not break. A huge opportunity, Chris. 2-minute drill. Teams work on this at the end of practice all the time. Let's see what Stone Saunders has to say about it.
Both teams have missed a field goal tonight. Similar yardage. And now McDevitt's going to have a chance to tie this up before the half. But they're going to have to go 80 yards.
Tough to see, I'm sure, on the telecast, but here in person, you could see that wind pushing that ball to the left. It was coming hard off from the right. Now a delay give, and a great job tracking him down. That's the senior captain, Chris Thompson.
Yeah, Chris Thompson pulled him down from behind.
It's the first carry I've seen from Sincere Bowers, the backup running back, a guy that we thought we might see a little bit more of here tonight, and an interesting timeout call by LaSalle. They want the ball back, Chris.
Yeah.
Well, LaSalle does get the ball to begin the second half.
They do, which is why I think that if they could just get the stop here, I think that's a moral victory in itself.
Absolutely. This portion of today's game brought to you by Treasure Sign. Great sign company, Jim, Chris, Convey. LaSalle grads very involved here with the football program and beyond. Appreciate their work and what they do. You can just go onto LaSalle's campus. That's basically their portfolio. Anything you need done, they're going to do it at the highest level, the highest quality. They're going to do it with a smile on their face. And if you are LaSalle or really just a high school football fan, give them some love because they support what we do here. And we appreciate it. We can speak firsthand for their work as well. So, Chris, it does force Jeff Wechter to make a decision. Do they open up the playbook? LaSalle still with the 2 timeouts remaining after that last timeout they took. So they had the full complement. They can clock it twice more. Do you throw the ball deep here?
Well, you have 2 safeties back. And you have Amir Anderson is playing off his.
Stone Saunders takes off with it, gets close to the line to gain, but will come up just a couple of yards short. Decision time now for John Steinmetz, and they do clock it. 1 minute, 29 seconds to play. The second timeout taken by LaSalle. It'll be 3rd down, and they're going to say 3 yards to go. Nice job by the freshman there, Chris. Broken play.
Yeah.
Able to find a seam in the defense. And that creates a little bit of doubt there, especially when you're running primarily man-to-man coverage on the LaSalle side. Those ends, if they get too deep into that backfield, Stone Saunders has the athleticism to take off down the field, and a 3rd receiver or a 4th receiver is taking a linebacker with him. That's going to create space to run for Stone Saunders.
Explorers had coverage downfield. Amir Anderson had backed off his receiver, and then they had 2 safeties back too. They were protecting against the deep throw.
1 minute, 29 seconds to play. First half action here on Bob Long Sports. It's 3rd down, 3 yards to go.
Again, a very quiet crowd here.
And a false start on the outside. That's Mario Easterly. That's a huge penalty there, Chris. 3rd down and 8 upcoming for the Crusaders of Bishop McDevitt.
It'll be 3rd and 8.
And if the Explorers can make the stop, they can get the ball back.
Easterly, we mentioned earlier, committed to Old Dominion to play football with Ricky Ronnie, the head coach there. Also a great baseball player for this Crusaders program. So between him and Nate Kinsey, the 6'2", 205-pound senior who will be on the defensive line and at times in the backfield, a lot of good baseball players on this team. Now they'll take the shot to the outside. It's a beautiful throw.
Wow.
Absolutely gorgeous from Stone Saunders. Filtered it in between the cornerback Amir Anderson and the hard-charging safety over the top, Ryan Moore.
And a McDevitt first down, knocked out of bounds by Ryan Moore.
Sometimes you just tip your cap. And in this case, it's the freshman quarterback.
He made a perfect throw. He took a hit, too. He's still lying on the ground.
I don't think that's him.
No? You think
he's out there in the
okay.
huddle. I don't know who's lying down there.
An innocent bystander. I think that's what happened. He collided into the...
Interesting. Yeah. Into the sideline after the receiver made the play. Good throw on the outs there. Great play. And that is Nevin Hopkins, number 9. Hopkins was the guy competing for that starting quarterback job in the offseason with Stone Saunders. And they'll go right back to him, but it's tipped at the line. Might have been Thompson with the tip. 2nd down and 2. Make that 3rd down and 2.
3rd down and 2.
It's a big play here.
It is a big play. There's 56 seconds remaining in the first half here, Chris.
And this is a situation where earlier in the game, Bishop McDevitt has done something stupid, whether they jumped off sides, unforced error.
Oh, what a great play there. Kieran Campbell read it well.
He got up high, too.
Yeah, that was nearly dangerous, but did the job, broke up the pass, and they forced Bishop McDevitt to punt it deep.
The Explorers aren't going to get the ball in the territory they wanted, but they're still going to get the ball back with just under a minute to play.
I would put it this way, if you had something in the playbook for any type of fake, it would be an interesting time to do it. Let's see if they kick this one deep. And they do. And it's a decent kick. Moore waves everybody away, and that'll take a LaSalle hop. A physics guy out there. Picked the spin up right. 42 seconds remain here, Chris, in this first half.
With 42 seconds to play in the half.
What are you calling, Chris, if you're in that offensive huddle?
So I think a lot's going to depend on Harrisburg's defense. If they go to one-on-one coverage, I think Paterzo can throw behind them.
Yeah.
I think they can get someone open. Now they have a safety back.
Yeah, it's a single high look there with Easterly at the 42. Still a good look, though, and just incomplete. He had the guy open. It was thrown inside where it needed to be.
Yeah.
Noel Henry, quite frankly, did a good job to break that ball up. It was, again, the right read there by Alan Paterzo.
And the ball up a little.
A streak on the near side of the field took that safety that way, and then the post to the outside. Really nice route run by Noel Henry. He's a guy that I think LaSalle really wants to get involved offensively. 2nd down and 10, 35 seconds to play.
Paterzo going to have to get rid of it.
Oh, another dangerous pass that'll fall harmlessly to the turf.
They're
Great
very
defense
lucky.
that time. Lucky indeed.
Pass intended for Ryan Sorge.
Nice defense that time by Bryce Enders.
3rd down and 10.
Explorers will take one more shot downfield.
This should be about as conservative as Bishop McDevitt will play, but they still have press coverage with no safety on the far side of the field. Let's see if they take a shot. But it is Ryan Moore on the Wildcat. Makes one miss and does get the first down. So LaSalle.
That'll move the chains.
Quickly moving the chains, and now they're going to have to call a timeout. 20 seconds left on the clock.
And that'll be their final timeout for the half.
Just like college and unlike the NFL, after a first down, there is a momentary stoppage of the clock as you move the chains, but LaSalle wasn't going to have nearly enough time.
Now, once that ball is set, the clock's going to start.
And that should be the 3rd timeout. I'm thinking our folks on the scoreboard are attending to other things because it's still listed as 2 timeouts, but that should exhaust the 3 timeouts for LaSalle.
No, they used the first 2 on McDevitt's last possession because they thought they could get the ball back. But the Explorers are going to get the ball to start the second half, and I think that's important. It would have been nice if they could have got a score in.
Still time, perhaps.
And it's still time, but
if you're Bishop McDevitt, you're guarding the sidelines. They do look like they have a second safety out there. Let's see if he comes to Noel Henry. You might have to pick him up. No, it doesn't look that way. Still 7 in the box. A 4-3 look. And a screen. A lot of room. It will be a first down. LaSalle's going to have to get up to the line very quickly. That was Ryan Sorge wearing number 16. It was Justin Machida's number from last year. And now the clock runs, and they spike it with 9 seconds to play. Only 2 seconds came off the clock. And that's a really nice play there by LaSalle.
That was. I mean, they're going to get a throw downfield. I think they only have one, or they have a play.
Maybe one play, but it's got to be the boundary.
Yeah. Unless he can throw and get thrown out of bounds, but as you said, you work on these things in practice. I don't know if they work on this. I think Bishop McDevitt's going to call a timeout now. They're going to make sure they have the right defense out there.
9 seconds to go in this first half. Bob Long and Chris Carabello here, along with AJ Carabello helping us out on the camera. Great to be back calling LaSalle football. And many thanks here to E&M Insurance in North Wales, run by Chris Marr, class of 1989 here at LaSalle, and father of Brendan and Ryan from the classes of 2018 and 2020, respectively. Built on servicing the Delaware Valley insurance needs since 1988, providing superior customer service and quality insurance solutions for their customers. They can provide solutions for your business or your personal. If you have youthful age drivers, give them a call. They can give you the best coverage and the best service at the best rates. Look for them on the web at eandeminsurance.com. That's E-A-N-D, M Insurance, or on Facebook. So, Chris, potentially 2 plays here for LaSalle. It's 1st and 10, but 9 seconds to go in the half.
It's going to be 1 play.
It is going to be 1 play, but unless you can get out of bounds with 2 with 1, and there is one solitary and momentous second left.
There is a tick left.
So it's a heave to the end zone. Unless you're running Santi Sterl out for 56, I don't see that happening. So it'll be a heave to the, he's got a heck of a leg. Maybe if that wind wasn't coming across, but dead downwind, why not?
Well, I think if he was at the 30, it
well,
would be a no-brainer, yeah.
That's an entirely different situation, but I would agree with that. I think you would try it at the 30. Prevent defense. And now LaSalle, it's in the hands of Ryan Moore, and let's just see what he can do. Over by the boundary, continues on inside the 10. They're pushing him forward, and down he goes at the 6.
Now, without someone to pitch back to or some type of hook and ladder, he was eventually going to meet his demise.
So they pad the stats with a 30-plus yard passing play from Paterzo to Moore, and that is the end of the first half. A good one here at Bishop McDevitt High School, Rocco Hortenzio Stadium, home of the Crusaders. As good a first week matchup as you can ask for, and it's 7-0. The LaSalle Explorers, highly rated 6A team, taking on Bishop McDevitt, the number 2 rated team in the 4A, and a team with state championship aspirations. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a few minutes here on Bob Long Sports.
Is Mayfair's neighborhood Ford store.
Nobody knows your neighborhood like Dunphy Ford.
Nearly 40 years.
Right here on Frankfort Avenue. Generation after generation. Our neighbors continue to be our customers. We have access to the cars and trucks you want with financing you need.
Dunphy Ford is Northeast Philly's first choice for America's #1 brand. 7700 Frankfort Avenue in Mayfair. Online at www.dunphyford.com.
Come experience the Dunphy difference. You'll be glad you did.
My name is Patrick Donahue, a franchise consultant with FranChoice, the premier network of franchise consultants in America. FranChoice is a company that helps people find a franchise business that's the perfect fit for them. We work with the people who want to own a business but don't really know how to find one that's both a top-notch opportunity and a match. We specialize in franchise opportunities with the following 3 characteristics: low investment, high margin, and rapid break-evens. The best thing about our service is that it's free to the public. We're paid by franchise companies for this service. The process is simple. First, we do an introduction. Then the candidate provides me with information. We have a consultation based on that information, and we build what's called the model. Once we have that model, we'll share that with 3 great opportunities that match your criteria. I will follow up with you through the entire process. Obviously, the best opportunities fit the criteria mentioned above, and the right way to find those opportunities is to spend some time with the people who work with the very best franchise companies looking to expand in your local area. I'm humbled by your consideration, and I look forward to speaking with you soon.
The coaches at LaSalle are great because they strive for you to be your best.
I was able to maximize my full potential in terms of opportunity in football, wrestling, and lacrosse. They're going to be pushed to be the best they can be in the classroom, on the field, in the pool, and just overall as a person.
student first, athlete second. Before you have success on the field, you have to have success in the classroom so you can be on the field.
One thing I think makes LaSalle Athletics stand out are the facilities that we have. One thing I think makes the athletic programs here so strong is definitely the coaching and the staff.
I think I've improved as a competitor here at LaSalle because I'm always being pushed by coaches and by my peers. Seeing my peers work hard makes me want to work harder as well.
No matter what your interests are, every single person here is going to make sure that you're able to fulfill your dreams and what you want to do.
What allows us to keep winning is just our really strong sense of tradition and pride. We know that 30 years before us they won the PCL, so we're going to go out there and we're going to do our best to succeed like the guys before us did.
What does your character look like? Does it bounce back after each setback? Does it stand out by standing up? Does it make good on good intentions? Character is invisible until it's not. Only through action will the world know what it's made of, what you're made of. Find out how you can strengthen the character of your community alongside empowered veterans and families of the fallen at travismannion.org.
I say that LaSalle fuels my passion because it has such great programs with what I'm interested in.
LaSalle affords you the opportunity to get involved in as much as you possibly want to. There's tons of different clubs and activities with any different interest you could have.
No matter what you're doing, you'll be supported by your peers, and LaSalle will become a place that you love to go to and you will want to go to every day.
I think it was pretty easy to make friends. I feel like the most friends I made came through my extracurriculars.
What I love about LaSalle is you could make relationships with other people by getting out of your comfort zone. That's what LaSalle really teaches us, to be open and be open to meeting new people.
You're always going to gain something from clubs. Even if you find out that that club isn't for you, you're still going to pull something away from it, come out with new friends, have new connections.
Getting involved definitely helps you meet new people.
You want to come to LaSalle because you want to be able to explore. You want to be able to try a number of different opportunities we have to offer here.
You're going to really discover what it means to be not only a LaSalle gentleman, but also develop your own passions and have all these different opportunities to try things that you might not have had otherwise.
Dunphy Ford is Mayfair's neighborhood Ford store.
Nobody knows your neighborhood like Dunphy Ford.
Nearly 40 years.
Right here on Frankfort Avenue. Generation after generation. Our neighbors continue to be our customers. We have access to the cars and trucks you want with financing you need.
Dunphy Ford is Northeast Philly's first choice for America's #1 brand. 7700 Frankfort Avenue in Mayfair. Online at www.dunphyford.com.
Come experience the Dunphy difference. You'll be glad you did.
My name is Patrick Donahue, a franchise consultant with FranChoice, the premier network of franchise consultants in America. FranChoice is a company that helps people find a franchise business that's the perfect fit for them. We work with the people who want to own a business but don't really know how to find one that's both a top-notch opportunity and a great match. We specialize in franchise opportunities with the following 3 characteristics: low investment, high margin, and rapid break-evens. The best thing about our service is that it's free to the public. We're paid by franchise companies for this service. The process is simple. First, we do an introduction. Then the candidate provides me with information. We have a consultation based on that information, and we build what's called the model. Once we have that model, we'll share that with 3 great opportunities that match your criteria. I will follow up with you through the entire process. Obviously, the best opportunities fit the criteria mentioned above, and the right way to find those opportunities is to spend some time with the people who work with the very best franchise companies looking to expand in your local area. I'm humbled by your consideration, and I look forward to speaking with you soon.
The coaches at LaSalle are great because they strive for you to be your best.
I was able to maximize my full potential in terms of opportunity in football, wrestling, and lacrosse.
They're going to be pushed to be the best they can be in the classroom, on the field, in the pool, and just overall as a person.
Student first, athlete second. Before you have success on the field, you have to have success in the classroom so you can be on the field.
One thing I think makes LaSalle Athletics stand out are the facilities that we have. One thing I think makes the athletic programs here so strong is definitely the coaching and the staff.
I think I've improved as a competitor here at LaSalle because I'm always being pushed by coaches and by my peers. Seeing my peers work hard makes me want to work harder as well.
No matter what your interests are, every single person here is going to make sure that you're able to fulfill your dreams and what you want to do.
What allows us to keep winning is just our really strong sense of tradition and pride. We know that 30 years before us they won the PCL, so we're going to go out there and we're going to do our best to succeed like the guys before us did.
What does your character look like? Does it bounce back after each setback? Does it stand out by standing up? Does it make good on good intentions? Character is invisible until it's not. Only through action will the world know what it's made of, what you're made of. Find out how you can strengthen the character of your community alongside empowered veterans and families of the fallen at travismanion.org.
I say that LaSalle fuels my passion because it has such great programs with what I'm interested in.
LaSalle affords you the opportunity to get involved in as much as you possibly want to. There's tons of different clubs and activities with any different interest you could have.
No matter what you're doing, you'll be supported by your peers, and LaSalle will become a place that you love to go to and you will want to go to every day.
I think it was pretty easy to make friends. I feel like the most friends I made came through my extracurriculars.
What I love about LaSalle is you could make relationships with other people by getting out of your comfort zone. That's what LaSalle really teaches us, to be open and be open to meeting new people.
You're always going to gain something from clubs. Even if you find out that that club isn't for you, you're still going to pull something away from it, come out with new friends, have new connections.
Getting involved definitely helps you meet new people.
You want to come to LaSalle because you want to be able to explore. You want to be able to try a number of different opportunities we have to offer here.
You're going to really discover what it means to be not only a LaSalle gentleman, but also develop your own passions and have all these different opportunities to try things that you might not have had otherwise.
Welcome back, folks, inside Bishop McDevitt High School, Rocco Ortenzio Stadium, and we are serenaded by the fine tunes of the Bishop McDevitt Pep Band at center. Bob Long, Chris Carabello, AJ Calabrello is on camera. It's been a wonderful game thus far. Big things stick out to me. We've seen a nice job by Paterzo in recognizing shots downfield. Some of them have hit, some of them have not. Mario Easterly has had some downfield shots that have been successful from Bishop McDevitt as well. LaSalle's offensive and defensive line, they've owned the line of scrimmage thus far, and in some ways I think LaSalle's in that locker room wondering how it's not more than a 7-point lead. Bishop McDevitt had a great first drive, got inside the LaSalle 20. Couple of plays going backwards, missed field goal, and they have not seriously challenged for a score since. And Chris, your thoughts as we think about where we are here, about 4 minutes until we get underway in the second half, where this game stands and what do you think it'll hinge on in the second half?
Well, the first 2 plays of the game were all Bishop McDevitt. You couldn't help but think this is not the start that the Explorers wanted. And then the Explorers stood ground. McDevitt misses a field goal, and the game really, the momentum started to shift towards the Explorers. 2 drop passes, or the Explorers might have had 2 more touchdowns. The run by Stevie Davis was incredible, but I think the 2 drop passes were more, viable efforts on behalf of the Explorers to get those 7 points. But the next time that McDevitt really showed offense again was on that last drive when they made some really nice passes. So the Explorers' defense have been very good, and that is without Abdul Carter. They have stopped the run tonight. Given some long passes where he was, as I said, Amir Anderson didn't turn around the one time. He had nice coverage. But the Explorers have done a good job of getting penetration and stopping the run. If they can continue to do that in the second half, and they can score 1 or 2 more times, they could win this game.
When you think about star efforts thus far, Mario Easterly on the Bishop McDevitt side, he's been their most viable and dangerous threat offensively. On the south side, there's really only one guy you can say, and that's Stevie Davis. He took a pretty much broken play. He was contacted right at the line of scrimmage, broke that tackle, 2 more en route to bouncing it to the outside, and you give him some open field, and you can kiss it goodbye. He was the guy who put LaSalle on the board, but the other guy I want to talk to is Daryl Dengo, Chris. He lived in that Bishop McDevitt backfield, couple of tackles for loss, couple of hurries on the quarterback, and he's the guy I think that's the key defensively for LaSalle. We've seen that Easterly and Rico Scott, they are able to contend one-on-one with that LaSalle defensive backcourt, and they've been able to get open. But Dengo and Campbell able to get in the backfield and make life difficult for the freshman Stone Saunders. That's been the difference for me.
And really the other one I want to point out would be Chris Thompson, too, who's done a really nice job of keeping those short passes to short gains, pulling people down from behind, getting penetration. As I said, I think the LaSalle defense, minus Abdul Carter, has really excelled tonight. I think they've overachieved. Not saying that they don't need Carter, but they're playing without him and playing well. If the Explorers can get in sync on offense, if they can make those completions, 2 balls that hit hands in wide open territory, if they can make those catches, could be a very different second half.
Yep, there is no doubt about it. Should be a great one. Bob Long, Chris Carabello, AJ Carabello. We got about a minute left on the clock. No teams to be seen now.
No one to be found yet. And Bob, maybe we could talk a little bit about what games you're going to broadcast for the rest of the season.
Yeah, why don't we? In fact, we're really excited to come back 2 weeks from now. It's a Saturday 1 o'clock kickoff as LaSalle takes on Imhotep Charter. We were talking some Penn State earlier. Keon Wiley, Penn State commit, playing for Imhotep, and Eni White, one of the top defensive players in all of the class of 2022, uncommitted. That's going to be a great game. Of course, that's why we're excited, but that's not the only reason we're excited. At 11:30 in the morning from right outside Springfield High School, we are doing Game Day Live, folks, so we encourage everybody, LaSalle and Imhotep fans alike, come on out, bring your signs, bring your energy. Rob Stott, our buddy, can't be here tonight, but he's going to bring his Lee Corso-type energy. And, yes, we will have a pick-em at the end. Some great guests. Drew Lockery, the 2009 state champion. They're going to be inducted as a team, the state champion LaSalle Explorers, but they're going to be inducted into the Hall of Athletics that preceding Friday at 6 o'clock p.m. on campus. So we'll have Drew on to talk about that team and that legacy. And then 97.5 The Fanatics' Jamie Lynch will be our guest picker. So we're excited to do that. That's going to be 11:30 to about 12:30. Be a great time for anybody coming out to homecoming. You should come on out.
It's going to be a great opportunity to see the energy from the students, too. They're excited about it. I think they're going to gather. As they said, they know what Game Day Live is. They watch it on ESPN. They're going to try to duplicate the same thing right there in Springfield's stadium parking lot, right behind the benches where the stands where they sit for the game. And then I think what follows is going to be a great game.
It will be a great game against a great opponent. certainly not a cupcake for homecoming. A lot of times you'll schedule a game that you expect to win because your alums are coming back. No, this is into the gauntlet. Interested to see how that Imhotep-Pittsburgh Central Catholic game is going today. That Pittsburgh team is fantastic. Probably the best team out of the western side of the state this year. And Imhotep, they'll have their work cut out for them as they take on DeMatha next week. So LaSalle will be the third in a trio of very difficult games. But that Imhotep resume, it precedes itself, and they're going to be a huge challenge for LaSalle also. Then the next week we're playing, we're going to go to, again, back to Springfield High School to take on Haverford
School.
The Haverford School. That's a great matchup. A little bit of a budding rivalry there, Chris. And those teams have played well against each other in the recent past. Next week we're heading down to Baltimore, Maryland, where we'll see LaSalle play McDonough, the McDonough School. Deny Dennis Sutton for those Penn State football fans. One of the top defensive players in that class of 2022. So LaSalle's getting its share of defensive ends at a high level that they're going to see, because the very next week they're playing St. Joe's Prep on Saturday afternoon, October the 3rd at Franklin Field.
Franklin Field, 3 o'clock start.
Yep, and another big-time defensive tackle, defensive end type, James Hurd, who came into the St. Joe's Prep program. So the offensive line's been really, really good here tonight. It's nice to know because there are 3 horses coming at you over the next couple of weeks. So that's the first 5 games that we're going to call. The one that comes in between is September the 3rd, next Friday. LaSalle's playing Malvern Prep in Ocean City, New Jersey. We won't be there. My younger brother, Kevin Long, is getting married, and I'm thrilled to be going to that wedding and serving as best man. And we can't wait to get back at it that next week. It is my understanding that Sports Fan Base Network will call that game, and so there will be a link for LaSalle fans to be able to watch it.
It's going to be a little different. There may be a pay to view that game, but unfortunately, it's not the LaSalle home game. It's the Malvern home game. They own the rights to it. And for those fans that are going to go down and watch, whether you're down the shore, whether you're going to make the trip down the shore, you cannot buy tickets in advance. It's very important to know that. Don't call the school. Don't ask anybody to buy them. The students can't buy them. The only way you can get a ticket is that you are going to need to be there. The gates open at 5:15. There'll be a limited number of tickets available. I expect a large crowd.
Yeah.
So if you want to go to that game, you need to buy a ticket in advance.
Not in advance.
I'm sorry, not in advance. Not in advance. You need to buy a ticket at the door.
Which would be it would be a tough scene to get down there and not be able to get in. So get there early.
Get there early.
So you get your seat.
But not too early because it opens at 5:15. There's a lot of rules for this game.
You know what? I'll be at a wedding. You guys can figure it out. Yep. No, but that should be a great game, and I am looking forward to watching from afar. Should be
good. It's a great venue too. It's a beautiful stadium. Right down the shore. It's Labor Day weekend.
I heard when you said, by the way, don't call the school, and I'm sure that incoming athletic director doing a great job, Bob Zanio. He's going to need to field some of those calls. I know Joe Parisi always loved those. So.
Well, that's my effort to show support for Bob Zanio.
That's
call
great.
Bob Zanio.
Now we're excited, really excited to work with Bob. He's a tremendous, he was a tremendous basketball coach at the JV level, and you can see a lot of the vision that Joe Parisi had, and I think Bob is a great conduit for that, and he's going to leave his own mark on LaSalle as well. So excited to be working with him now.
No, he picks up a tremendous, he takes over a tremendous legacy that Joe Parisi left.
Yep.
And a lot of people don't realize Bob Zanio was a tremendous athlete in his own right. As the public address announcer for basketball, I cannot tell you how many times I said Bob Zanio for 3 when he played for Father Judge, and then he went on to have a great career at DeSales University.
And a good official.
And he's a tremendous official.
Which means that when he's calling a JV basketball game, he can give it to the stripes pretty good. Effectively so and professionally so, but he knows what he's talking about.
When he says that was a travel, it probably was a travel.
Oh, that's great. All right, folks, about 50 seconds on the clock. I don't see this figuring itself out in 50 seconds. We'll take a quick break and come back for the beginning of the second half here on Bob Long's.
Dunphy Ford is Mayfair's neighborhood Ford store.
Nobody knows your neighborhood like Dunphy Ford.
Nearly 40 years.
Right here on Frankfort Avenue. Generation after generation. Our neighbors continue to be our customers. We have access to the cars and trucks you want with financing you need.
Dunphy Ford is Northeast Philly's first choice for America's #1 brand. 7700 Frankfurt Avenue in Mayfair. Online at www.dumpyford.com.
Come experience the Dumpy difference. You'll be glad you did.
My name is Patrick Donahue, a franchise consultant with FranChoice, the premier network of franchise consultants in America. FranChoice is a company that helps people find a franchise business that's the perfect fit for them. We work with the people who want to own a business but don't really know how to find one that's both a top-notch opportunity and a great match. We specialize in franchise opportunities with the following 3 characteristics: low investment, high margin, and rapid break-evens. The best thing about our service is that it's free to the public. We're paid by franchise companies for this service. The process is simple. First, we do an introduction. Then the candidate provides me with information. We have a consultation based on that information, and we build what's called the model. Once we have that model, we'll share that with 3 great opportunities that match your criteria. I will follow up with you through the entire process. Obviously, the best opportunities fit the criteria mentioned above, and the right way to find those opportunities is to spend some time with the people who work with the very best franchise companies looking to expand in your local area. I'm humbled by your consideration, and I look forward to speaking with you soon.
The coaches at LaSalle are great because they strive for you to be your best.
I was able to maximize my full potential in terms of opportunity in football, wrestling, and lacrosse.
They're going to be pushed to be the best they can be in the classroom, on the field, in the pool, and just overall as a person.
We welcome everybody back inside Bishop McDevitt High School, Rocco Ortenzio Stadium.
Will kick off for McDevitt to start the second half.
Beginning of the third quarter. Bishop McDevitt will kick off. LaSalle will receive. Stevie Davis back there deep to return along with Amir Anderson. The lefty, Michael Chiha, will kick it deep.
Let's see if they keep it away from Stevie Davis.
LaSalle in the white with the gold helmets, and Stevie Davis fumbled with it, now at the 5. Out to the 20, 25-30, 35-40, 45. It's a foot race inside the 35-yard line. Still going inside the 20. Stevie Davis.
Perhaps they should have listened to me.
What a game for Stevie Davis. One more look.
What a
And he
what
is
a
just putting
return.
distance between himself and the Gunners.
The way he kept his balance on the 2, just so difficult to bring down.
Truly, it's a pretty evenly matched game, aside for Stevie Davis. Alan Paterzo, the senior quarterback, missed almost all of last year with injury, back out under center. The single deep back is Dom Martin. Hasn't had a ton of touches here today. And it's a jet sweep. And a great defensive play. Big time. Number 7, Cade Werner, the junior. Noel Henry took that jet sweep, and Werner knifed his way into the backfield. 2nd down and 13. Pistol look, it is Stevie Davis in the backfield. 11:04 and ticking here in the third. Davis knifes through. Davis bounces to the outside, and he's going to come up a yard short. He was down before he fumbled it. 1st down and 10, gain of 14 yards.
Inside the 5 for 1st and goal.
And LaSalle very quick back up to the line. And he lost the football. Ball is loose. And Bishop McDevitt is on it. How's that for a momentum shift? Stevie Davis ruled down on the would-be fumble the snap before. That time, there was no doubt. The rain starts to come down here in Harrisburg. And LaSalle got mixed up on the exchange. Noted as well, they were rushing up to the line, Chris, and they ran a lot of plays to start the second half and a lot in the first half out of the shotgun. He hasn't had to go on under center very much.
And the confusion was, it cost them 6 points.
Truly a potential game-changing type of play. 10:46 to go in the third quarter, and Bishop McDevitt looking to do something about it.
It was one of those coaching moves where you want the kid that got the big run and then the other run to get the score.
Handoff, and LaSalle's defensive line, we talked about it at halftime. They continue to just motor into the backfield.
Yeah, Daryl Dengo just stood ground.
They lost about half of that yardage. Started at the 2, now inside the 1 yard line, 2nd and 11.
For a loss of 1 by the middle of the Explorer D line, 2nd and 11.
Curious to see if Bishop McDevitt doesn't take a chance and throw the ball. Catch the Explorers off guard.
In the shadow of their own goalpost.
In their own end zone. Take a shot with a true freshman quarterback back there.
They do give it, and he does get his way out of the end zone. Not much more than that. Might have clawed back a half yard, approaching the original line of scrimmage.
Back to the original line of scrimmage. So now you're going to have 3rd and 10.
Williams again on the carry. Pickup of 1, brought down by Daryl Dengo.
Daryl Dengo again gets the stop. 9:42 and ticking here in the third. A 7-0 lead for LaSalle. It was nearly double that. But a missed snap, a fumble inside the 2 yard line. LaSalle's defense trying to create some magic themselves.
This is a situation they need to be careful because if Dengo can get in the backfield, there's going to be a safety.
And they think about taking a shot. Now they do fire it away, and that is incomplete. Nice job by Stone Saunders there. It sure looked like a safety was nearly at hand. One more look right about here. It looked like he was going to get hit.
It looks like he was down, and it just.
No, yeah, he stayed up, certainly.
He stayed up, yeah. He also came very close to putting his foot on the back line.
Yes, I'll agree with you there. Looked to me like the fullback Bryce Enders got just enough of a block there at the key moment to evade that would-be tackler. LaSalle nearly got there. All in all, a very nice punt.
Yeah. He was lucky to get that off.
I mean, it's tremendous field position for LaSalle, but the heat was coming in on him. The wind's coming at him, kept it low, got it off, and LaSalle, no doubt, great field position, but they're looking to punch one in here in the third.
For our viewers at home, it's hard to see this, but the rain started to come down steady, not heavy, but steady. A lot of people are starting to put up umbrellas.
For those of you that weren't with us at halftime, come on out on September the 11th at 11:30. Springfield High School Game Day Live is being put on by Bob Long Sports. Bring your signs, bring your enthusiasm. We're going to run it the way they do on ESPN and have a great time doing it before LaSalle against Imhotep. Nice job there defensively, but Dom Martin able to end up get a couple of yards.
He did.
Not
nice
too
effort.
bad there.
Good second effort there. Bob, are you going to wear the Explorer hat? The head?
There will be a mascot hat put on. It won't be by me, and we don't know whether it'll be a Panther or an Explorer yet, so you're going to have to tune in to find out. Second down, 8 yards to go at the 28, and truly that should have been broken up 3 to 4 yards in the backfield. It's Stevie Davis alongside Alan Paterzo. And Davis hit hard. That was a read option there, and I don't know if it was the right read of that defensive end. Now a late hit, and it looks like LaSalle's going to get bailed out here. Tay Hughes, the 9th grader, the freshman. You can see the tail end in the replay here as the teammates of his are pushing him away, but too late. It's a big boy for a freshman.
No, and you're right, Bob. The Explorers got bailed out. Let's see if they can capitalize on this. They couldn't capitalize on the big kickoff return from Stevie Davis. They made a great stop after turning the ball over. Let's see if they can punch it in.
It's been a game of almost and missed opportunities, truly on both sides. But LaSalle, they can take a big step forward here if they can punch it in. Stevie Davis bounces to the outside, has room. E.J. Wentz is going to get called for a hold. He's into the end zone, but that one is coming back, and that's a good call.
It's a good call.
Wentz.
Yeah.
As you watch your screen, you're keeping an eye on 23, bounces to the outside, and it's the right idea, but as Davis breaks contain.
Correct. He had a great block until the defensive player's body turned.
So again, LaSalle jockeys into and out of field goal position.
Yeah, I'm not sure you can blame E.J. Wentz too much on that. I mean, he did hold, but.
Put it this way, without the hold, he's not scoring a touchdown.
Nope.
7:54 and ticking here. Still 7-0 in this one. And now they feign the block. Here's Dom Martin, a ton of blocking. He's going to walk into the end zone. Touchdown, LaSalle. Oh, that's a thing of beauty, Chris.
No flags. Beautiful call.
So he feigned the block. You see it now after he makes the catch, but he feigned the block, and that defender took the bait, came right after Paterzo.
He had a wide open sideline.
A cavalcade of blockers welcome him to pay dirt. Dom Martin scores the second touchdown of the evening for LaSalle. And Chris, it's been out of that running back position. That's been the primary source of offensive output this evening.
Santiago Sterlo looking to make it a 14-0 lead for the Explorers.
Sterlo whistles that one through, and it's 14-0 LaSalle.
And it's been the substitutes, or not so much the substitutes, but the other guys that have had to be counted on that have really stepped it up tonight.
That's right.
Defensively, you have a Daryl Dango, you have a Chris Thompson, who've played tremendously with Abdul Carter not in the lineup. And then on offense, Don Martin, Stevie Davis, obviously.
Both out of the backfield.
Both out of the backfield.
Brown,
both touchdowns. No Sam Brown, but
sir.
Still 2 rushing touchdowns. And maybe it might not be the numbers that Sam might have put up, but still, 14-0 lead for the Explorers.
Stevie Davis has put up some yards, both on offense
all-purpose
and special teams. But it makes it all the more impressive and exciting for LaSalle for when Sam Brown does come back, and don't expect it to necessarily be very long.
Hopefully that will be next week.
7 minutes, 36 seconds to play. Third quarter action here on Bob Long Sports. LaSalle in the white. Bishop McDevitt is in the navy blue. I would say fanatics of both teams might question who's who. LaSalle's away uniforms look a lot like Bishop McDevitt's away uniforms, and Bishop McDevitt's home uniforms look a lot like LaSalle's home uniforms.
Santiago Sterlo tees it up. Easterly deep for the Crusaders.
Mario Easterly, the deep man. And the wind has kind of calmed down. This would have been downwind in the first half, coming off from his right. Booted nonetheless, and that will not be returnable.
They'll start from the 20.
Automatic touchback once it goes into the blue paint here at the high school level.
Sterlo has a really good leg. I think he can certainly kick at the next level, whether it be a punter or a kicker. And the Explorers have certainly had a number of players through the years who have done so.
I love him as a punter. I mean, he's a great field goal kicker as well, but if you're talking about delta between good and great, or between him and some of the other folks you see at the high school level, you don't see, I don't remember a punter like him
Ryan
at the
Winslow.
high school level. Yeah, well, that's true. Ryan Winslow. NFL punter Ryan Winslow.
Green Bay Packer Ryan Winslow.
Yeah, you kind of put me in my place, and rightly so on that one, Chris.
You do it to me, so it's only
That's
fair
right.
that I do it to you.
Yep, I deserved it.
But if you look at other, he may actually be the best punter since Ryan Winslow,
Yeah,
and even
I would think
before
so.
Ryan Winslow. And certainly Mike Bennett was
Mike
very,
Bennett.
very good, although I think Mike Bennett was a better kicker.
Oh, he somehow caught it.
Oh, I don't know that he – Oh.
They're going to talk about it.
They have to talk, but he
Yep.
did not have possession going out of bounds. Oh. Let's look at this.
Tough to tell, but that's a great catch.
Yeah.
Really good play and a nice play design. Well, a little wheel route there coming out, forcing a linebacker to get out to the boundary, and a tough play for anybody to make.
There's no instant replay on this field.
Kieran Campbell,
Yeah,
a little
Kieran
slow to
Campbell,
get off
yeah.
the field.
He was hobbling coming up the field.
So a big play for the Crusaders of Bishop McDevitt. Down the field they come.
That was a big momentum shift.
Need it. No doubt about it. And a timeout on the field.
Official timeout.
An official timeout.
I wonder if they're talking about this.
I highly doubt that.
Yeah,
but
there's nothing to look at. And one of the officials would have had to be able to make a definitive call to overrule the other.
head official is calling folks back out to the field.
Late in the second quarter.
But as we do that, this portion of today's game brought to you by the Jamison Poorhouse, also run by the Wade family. Appreciate their support of us. We talked about Station Hap House. Now we're talking about the Jamison Poorhouse. Family, food, and fun, our favorite place to watch the game. Head on over. They'll stream the LaSalle game for you. It's a wonderful place to spend an evening. The give is to Marquise Williams, and again, just bottled up. Nothing but white jerseys in the backfield. Get one more look here, Chris. Two backs in the backfield, but you can just see that effective line of scrimmage change.
The penetration, and that wasn't even Darryl Dango. Now we have a Bishop McDevitt player down. Whoever was carrying the ball,
see it right at the end there.
Yeah, he get hit hard.
I don't think that was the ball carrier. I have that as an offensive lineman there.
Oh, you're right. You can see by the size of him. It could be a cramp, too.
Yep. Yep. It's a little bit hot here this evening.
Although it's the weather has the rain and the thunder from earlier today really cooled things off. Even on the drive up, it was 90, 91 the entire time, and then the rain came and it dropped it down into the low 80s.
Feels somewhat like football weather at this juncture.
I think it helps being higher up, too. Our vantage point makes it a little cooler for us. Although I wouldn't want to be up here in December.
No, no. The wind whips across the mountain range here. Not really mountain ranges, but, you know, the rolling hills of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Well, as they work on him, and we'll get him off camera there, as they work on him, we'll talk about Jim and Carrie. Jim McLaughlin, Carrie Guerin Boyle of the Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Fox and Roach Realtor team run by Carrie. Both of them strong LaSalle stalwarts. Carrie sent her kids through LaSalle. Jim McLaughlin, longtime LaSalle ambassador, graduate, fantastic guy, and both wonderful professionals in the real estate profession. They helped us, my wife and I, get our dream home, and could not recommend them any higher. A strong supporter of everything LaSalle. So pay it forward. And if you're looking to buy a new home or sell it, they are the perfect people to call. That's Jim McLaughlin, Carrie Guerin Boyle of the Carrie Guerin Boyle team at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Fox and Roach Realtors.
Parents probably know this, but if you're an alum and don't, this was LaSalle's second week of school. Started school, freshmen reported last Tuesday. So LaSalle's been in school for 2 weeks. And the admission season's begun. We have a full open house this fall coming up on September 26th. It's going to start with a mass, and then there's a 2.5-hour open house that people can register for and get personalized tours of the school. So prospective 6th, 7th, 8th graders, prospective students can certainly get a great view of LaSalle.
Caught there by Rico. Sky's going the wrong direction, though, as he had to come up with that one after bobbling it. And now Amir Anderson getting into it. And I would guess that these are going to be offsetting personal fouls here. Jeffrey Penn, as well as Amir Anderson. You can see it bottom lower quarter of your screen there on the left.
Yeah, Amir Anderson responded to something. I didn't see what he responded to, but I tend to think you're right. Unless they only saw what Amir Anderson did.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't think anybody did anything particularly egregious.
No, there you go. Offsetting penalties.
So I will tell you, and you finish what you were saying about the open house.
No, you can go to the school's website, go to admissions, you can sign up for any of the admissions event, which include the open house. There's a great opportunity to experience science, technology, engineering, and math. There's a STEM night as well as an arts night where you can experience theater, music, speech and debate. So specialized experiences. The Explorers at LaSalle has 2 of them scheduled for the fall, in addition to the open house, in addition to mornings at LaSalle where parents can come and actually go through classes and experience LaSalle live.
8 yards to go here. Saunders drops straight back. They throw the screen, and it was just not a very good pass, unfortunately, for Saunders.
Pass.
3rd down.
It'll be
4th down. No, okay.
4th down now. Punting unit is in.
Line judge had it at 3rd, but it is 4th down, and LaSalle back deep. Ryan Moore. An extra crow hop, but he does get it off. And what a pick that time by Ryan Moore. That was dangerous, but he will get a few yards upfield.
I mean, it was punted literally right at him. You couldn't get a short hop more at you, but he held onto that ball a little too long before punting it.
Another look as Ryan Moore sets the new line for LaSalle, and that's where they'll start at the 30-yard line. Chris, I will tell you, before the game, I talked to, and LaSalle fans will love this, what I believe is Bill Wassilenko's counterpart here at Bishop McDevitt, an older gentleman from the early 1960s. AJ, we were talking to him, who is a Bishop McDevitt football historian. And we were talking about some of the greats at Bishop McDevitt, LaShawn McCoy, Ricky Waters. He also told me that they've been seeking their 600th win as a program for the better part of a year because they ended up not being eligible to go to the state playoffs last year. They thought they would have had a very good shot with that team that they had last year, but a COVID-shortened season, they were not qualified for that state playoffs. And so tonight, taking on LaSalle, they're looking for their 600th victory. They're going to need to do some work to get to that point, but certainly wish the Crusaders the best of luck as they continue to write a very rich and storied football tradition.
Interesting scene out on the field right now. Noel Henry came out for the huddles, was fine, and then all of a sudden just started limping and collapsed. I don't know whether it's like a hamstring or a cramp, but
yeah, and it is Noel Henry, like you said. A couple of cramps we've seen
yeah,
here.
He was fine. He got out almost to midfield, and the next thing you know, he went down.
Well, and you know how cramps can be, Chris, is at one moment you're okay, and the next you just don't have anything underneath you. Dave Crow, head trainer for LaSalle. They'll get him fixed up and hopefully back onto the field very quickly. But as it stands, 6 minutes and 11 seconds to play in the third quarter. It's a 14-0 lead for LaSalle.
See if Explorers can eat some clock here, too.
Toss sweep. This is Dom Martin. Good blocking out there as he cuts back upfield. A gain of about 2. That was nicely strung out that time by McDevitt. We have seen a pretty substantial adjustment from Bishop McDevitt defensively, though, Chris. They've had a single high safety at least on just about every play here since midway through the second quarter. LaSalle kept getting shots on that deep post. Certainly well executed and well prepared for by LaSalle. Some of them hit, some of them did not, but right now it's another cover 0 look, so let's see. Maybe Paterzo sees it and takes a shot.
Another audible.
Had a lot of single safety looks, but not this time. And it's E.J. Wentz with a big hole and gets to the outside. First down and a lot more.
Great job by E.J. Wentz to get to the outside and get some nice yardage.
I think that play was designed up the middle there, Chris. And he saw the outside, bounced it very well.
Bounced out on his own. You know, Bob, you brought up the Bishop McDevitt historian. I must say that the people here have been very, very accommodating.
Absolutely.
This has been a pleasure to come here, and the people at the door, and being concerned for people's safety during the lightning strike at the start of the game, and their public address announcer, and just about everyone. This is a really nice place to play. By the way, this is going to turn into a home and away series. They
Wonderful.
are going to come to LaSalle next year at a site to be determined, but it is going to be a home and away.
Dom Martin has to make one miss and does not. What a great defensive play by Bishop McDevitt. Chase Regan, the sophomore cornerback.
It was similar to that, not similar, but similar to the pass where Dom Martin got the touchdown earlier this quarter.
Certainly better defended.
Yes.
But certainly agree that it's been a great experience here, and the best thing you can do and take from a day like this and all the hospitable people that we found is pay it forward when folks come to LaSalle to play. And we appreciate the treatment here, try to treat everybody the same way when they come to LaSalle. Look for a burgeoning series between these two programs.
That's nice. I mean, the Explorers had historically started against North Penn, and when COVID, that kind of ended that series. And
right after I moved into the North Penn School District, right down the street. Would have been a nice trip. But that's all right. We'll do Harrisburg instead.
We could have picked up the internet from your house.
Yeah, that's right.
But
that's, by the way, NDPSU, by the way, for my wife, Notre Dame graduate, and me, Penn State. 3:32 to go. Third down and 11. Paterzo finds his man, and it's going to be a first down. What a move that time by Ryan Moore. No, make that, excuse me, not Ryan Moore. No, Ryan Sorge gets his first catch, or maybe second catch of the evening.
Let's give it up for a first down in McDevitt territory.
So it's a first down for LaSalle. Kind of a heave and a prayer that time, stepping back from Paterzo, but had a man open and did a great job to recognize the opening down the field.
And it was the second effort that gets the first down there. Now we have another injury on the field. She's going to stop the clock with 3 minutes and 20 seconds left.
14-0 our score. A reminder, we're not on the air next week. LaSalle traveling to Ocean City, New Jersey to take on Malvern Prep in a battle at the shore.
I think they're calling it the battle at the beach. There's T-shirts. There's commemorative T-shirts that you can buy at the game.
After you get your ticket. At the door.
At the door.
And only at the door. But we're excited for that one. Certainly my brother's wedding takes precedence, and I am so excited for him. And I know our colleagues at Sports Fanbase Network are going to do a great job calling that game. So we will direct, over the course of the next week, we'll direct the LaSalle community to that broadcast. And I know Arias and his guys will do a good job. And then we'll be right back at it the following week, Saturday, 1 o'clock p.m., and every game thereafter, by the way. The last and only wedding for Kevin Long, so this will be a one-time thing.
I take it you are the best man?
I am the best man and couldn't be more proud to be so.
Now, do you have your speech prepared, your toast?
I'm ready.
We're going to get a hold.
That should, you know, what it might be, Chris, is an illegal shift. Those flags came out pretty quickly.
Okay, there you go.
That's what it was. I think it was Martin there. Second down and 15. Is that going to be first? No, it's, yeah.
Are there references to his pitching career?
TBD. You know, we're not going to, no spoilers here on the broadcast. Make sure to get the link up and on YouTube. No, kidding, of course, but it'll be part funny, part sentimental. We do know that one of us was a great LaSalle athlete.
Would that be the one that's that's working in the construction industry right now.
Yeah, that'd be the one who's on the picture in the LaSalle gymnasium, not the guy that sticks his head out of the Philadelphia Catholic League plaque during basketball games. A lot of room on the outside. Turning on the Jets. Nearly a first down. Ryan Moore on the jet sweep.
That was exciting for you and your dad to return to State College last spring when the Explorers captured the state title in baseball.
Did. Yes, LaSalle's third baseball state title in 2021. The first one was in 2012. And yes, my brother, a senior at the time, Kevin Long, threw a complete game 3-hitter. No earned runs. Took down a really good Council Rock South team.
Exciting
look
game
back
to
fondly on it. Stevie Davis bounces to the outside, gets right to the line to gain. It will be close.
Ironically, that was AJ's first time to ever visit Penn State, and now I'm paying tuition.
There you go. All good things. First down for LaSalle. He got right to that line to gain. 2 minutes and 9 seconds to go as that clock restarts after the first down.
We had a great tour that day of the football facility by John Butler, who is now the assistant coach at in Buffalo. But took AJ through the weight room and through the football facility, and I have a great picture of him holding the We Are weight. Probably was about a 10-pounder because that's all he could hold at the time.
First down and 10 for LaSalle. A methodical drive here in the latter stages of the third quarter. That one will go nowhere. A fullback dive up the middle. Right on at that time, the linebacker, number 4, Bryce Enders.
The student section has found something exciting to cheer about. I'm not sure it has anything to do with the game, but they've kind of got into the game right now.
I don't know, but there's 2 police officers down there, so that seems intriguing. We'll keep you apprised on this situation as it develops, as long as we're able to bring it to you.
Well, they're singing na na na, hey hey goodbye. So obviously someone's being asked to leave, and this could be back-to-back penalties on the Explorers.
No, that's going to be offside.
Offsides, okay.
They drew him off.
That's good. What you can see is that the way that the Bishop McDevitt fans have chosen to celebrate opening night is to paint themselves. They made themselves tie-dye, not tie-dye shirts. They painted themselves tie-dye.
It's impressive. It's impressive. All right, so one spectator is being
removed. Escorted. So the Explorers call timeout. 32 seconds left here in the third quarter.
More time for this to develop. There were a couple of folks that approached, students from the student section approached 2 cops as they were escorting this young kid out of the stadium.
Thank you very much from the Bishop McDevitt maintenance team.
All right, back to football. This portion of today's game, though, is brought to you by E&M Insurance in North Wales, run by Chris Marr, class of 1989. Sent his sons to LaSalle. Prides himself on great service, competitive rates, and a consultative approach. Whether for your business or your personal insurance, and I know something on the minds of a lot of high school-aged parents is those kids of yours that are just getting their license, and there's some high rates there. Chris can walk you through that process. That's eandminsurance.com, and you can find them on Facebook. We appreciate them sponsoring our telecast. Second down and 5 yards to go, a toss sweep. It's Davis. Davis with a lot of room and inside the 15-yard line.
It just runs so hard to bring down.
Gain of 12. First down, LaSalle.
12 yards down to the 15, brought down by Bryce.
Really good blocking down the field as well. And when it's a toss like that, that's a pass behind the lines. You can get those linemen as far down the field as possible. You're not going to be subject to a illegal man downfield. And they blocked all the way down to the 15-yard line.
Explorers will probably get one more play. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, final seconds of the third quarter. They'll switch field just one more time. LaSalle, a 14-point cushion and threatening deep in Bishop McDevitt territory. as we head to the fourth quarter here on Bob Long Sports.
Ford is Mayfair's neighborhood Ford store.
Nobody knows your neighborhood like Dunphy Ford.
Nearly 40 years.
Right here on Frankfurt Avenue. Generation after generation. Our neighbors continue to be our customers. We have access to the cars and trucks you want with financing you need.
Dunphy Ford is Northeast Philly's first choice for America's #1 brand. 7700 Frankfurt Avenue in Mayfair. Online at www.dunphyford.com.
Come experience the Dunphy difference. You'll be glad you did.
My name is Patrick Donahue, a franchise consultant with FranChoice, the premier network of franchise consultants in America. FranChoice is a company that helps people find a franchise business that's the perfect fit for them. We work with the people who want to own a business but don't really know how to find one that's both a top-notch opportunity and a great match. We specialize in franchise opportunities with the
We turn from the third to the fourth here on Bob Long Sports. Salle looking to put this one away.
Yeah, these are key offensive possessions here for the Explorer.
And that time Bishop McDevitt up to task defensively, gain of 1.
And there was nothing for Stevie Davis.
One Stevie Davis on the carry, brought down by Werner and Enders. Second
and another injury, it looks like. This time it's a LaSalle Explorer. Tough to tell from here.
Out comes Dave Crow, who does a tremendous job as LaSalle's trainer.
And as they attend to him, we'll figure out who that was. But while we're out here in Harrisburg, I know this is prime Penn State football country, Chris, so a great time to remind everybody that the Nittany Lion Sports Report on Bob Long Sports is back, coming to you in your living rooms this coming week. Either Monday or Tuesday morning we may post the show. But Bob Long, Tyler Gelhaus, we're going to be on talking about this year's Nittany Lion team, some depth chart talk, some recruiting talk, and of course previewing a big one on the road against Wisconsin. And then they're going to play a Ball State team who was very good in their conference last year. So that'll be a tough matchup. And then Auburn at home, September the 18th. So you're going to find a lot out about this Penn State team, about Sean Clifford, about the running back depth chart situation. We'll break it all down on the Nittany Lion Sports Report. On the Sports Stream Premium Network, they're going to be housing the show as well this year. Excited to be working with them.
2nd and 10.
The give is to Davis off tackle, cutting back inside, continues to motor forward to the end zone.
Touchdown Explorers.
Stevie Davis with his second of the night. How about this sophomore?
Number 1, Stevie Davis, 14 yards for the LaSalle touchdown.
And Chris, he was contacted at about the 8-yard line.
How many Bishop McDevitt Crusaders did he carry into the end zone? 3.
5'6", 175, Chris. Now, 175 is a pretty good number for a 5'6" guy, but he is punching above his weight here tonight, and LaSalle has to be thrilled with what they're seeing out of Stevie Davis.
The elephant in the room here is the drop ball at the goal line,
or
at the 1-yard line. He gets the 75-yard kickoff return.
Well, and that wasn't him that fumbled it either. And you have to keep in mind that Bishop McDevitt then punted from the back of their end zone, and LaSalle got it at the 30-yard line and marched down and scored. So I don't think we're talking about, hey, they left a score on the board necessarily. But, yeah, one of the only mistakes here. A couple of drops from the wide receivers and then that fumble, but from a majority of this game's standpoint, LaSalle has been the superior team, and the scoreboard shows it. Bishop McDevitt, tough schedule coming up. they're going to play Harrisburg High School in 2 weeks. So very much like LaSalle. Bishop McDevitt and Jeff Wechter, they've put a premium on scheduling heavy, getting ready for league play. A proud program. They won 6 District 3 titles between 2010 and 2018. Won a state championship in 1995. Sturla, that's another one. Touchback. Really good from the LaSalle special teams.
He certainly has the leg.
Go time here for Bishop McDevitt. Stone Saunders came out like a flash. 30-yard pass down the field without a safety over the top on the very first play of the game. He's made some nice plays throughout, but really has been stymied in the last quarter and a half. A 3-possession game with 11 minutes to go, and it's got to be now here for Bishop McDevitt.
Well, the Explorers defense have taken away the run between Darrell Dango and Chris Thompson.
Yeah, Marquise Williams, we were hearing so much about him, and no doubt he's going to have a great year.
Kieran Campbell, like they've just taken away the run from this Bishop McDevitt team, and this
is a problem here. And Williams falls on it at the 1. Not the start you're looking for if you're Bishop McDevitt, and LaSalle can really put a cap on this one here.
Yeah, when you're down 21-0, the last thing you need to do is snap it long and fall on it at the 1. That was very close to a safety. But again, the Explorers are doing this without Abdul Carter on defense and without Sam Brown on offense.
Some second stringers coming in. Brendan O'Connor, number 94, on the near side of the line. They'll take the shot. Anderson is there, but it is brought in. Jeffrey Penn. Throw was a little bit behind him, but it was enough to the outside boundary there. And Amir Anderson, it looked like he had a beat on it in midair, and all of a sudden he didn't. What a great play by Jeffrey Penn.
Thrown perfectly. But that's a situation where Amir Anderson has to get a hand on that. Just turned around a little too late.
So that's a long pass for a first down. They needed a lot of yards because of the errant snap on the last play. And now perhaps Saunders and this Crusader team have some life.
That's 43 yards, probably 53 in the air because he threw it from the back of the end zone.
Saunders does get rid of it and nearly caught, pushed out of bounds nicely there by Amir Anderson. And that's a great play by Anderson. The push-out rule is no longer, so you go up high to get it, you shove him as far as you can out of bounds. 9 minutes, 52 seconds to play, fourth quarter.
And Saunders had to get rid of that ball or he would have been sacked.
We talk about this every year, and I believe every year it has remained. Bill Wasilenko, the Wizard of Winmore, the historian of LaSalle football, has numbers and consecutive seasons in the 40s or 50s where LaSalle has shut out. And there's a big play defensively. Great job by LaSalle's number 48, Daniel Ford. But he calls them goose eggs, right? So how many years in a row has LaSalle football done a goose egg? And I don't have the number off the top of my head, but it is in the 40 or 50 consecutive years where they've done it. I believe they did it last year against Roman Catholic to keep that streak going.
It's where they've had at least one goose egg in the...
Where they have pitched a shutout as a defense, yes.
As a defense, yeah.
So 9 minutes and 17 seconds away from notching off 2021. We'll certainly have Bill up here at some point over the course of the year for a halftime show. Saunders, back shoulder, not able to connect.
Good coverage by Amir Anderson.
Coverage from 3, Amir Anderson.
And a little stunt that time by the defensive line for LaSalle, I think made the difference there. Good swim move inside, curled into the outside on the from the defensive tackle position. 9 minutes left to play. And they'll punt it away on 4th down. LaSalle almost gets it again. Ryan Moore, he'll call for the fair catch and calmly corral it.
Ryan Moore makes the fair catch at the LaSalle 33.
And with just under 9 minutes to play here in the game, Explorers are up 21-0.
And one last time to remind you about Keith Binsfeld and the Binsfeld lending team at Cross Country Mortgage. Still a great time to refinance your home, or if you're buying a new home, have Keith help you through the process. It's really tough to buy a house, and again, when you're using Jim, McLaughlin, Carragher, and Boyle on the realtor side, Keith can be very helpful in getting you pre-approved and helping you structure an offer to win the deal. That's the Binsfeld team at Cross Country Mortgage, Inc., proud LaSalle graduate, proud sponsor of LaSalle Athletics, and now a proud LaSalle dad. Or soon to be. I don't know if his son's going there yet. A run right up the middle gains about 3 yards. 2nd down and 7 upcoming.
Explorers now just need to eat away at the clock.
2nd and 6 at the 37.
So, Chris, to give you another layup here, before we came on the air, you said something about you were going to make fun of me for the last time we were on the air together, and I don't know that you ever did that, or maybe it was so deceptively done that I missed it.
Not make fun of you. I was going to comment the last time we were on the air together was one of the best athletic sporting events that we probably ever broadcast.
Oh, sure, for baseball.
Baseball.
And we'll get a stoppage here, likely movement up front, which caused the play to be whistled dead.
Just goes to show we can go on the fly. We can do baseball, we can do football.
Of course, with a lot of preparation, get to this point, but yes, no doubt. We're happy to broadcast as many of these sporting events as we can. It's been a lot of fun, and couldn't be more excited to be back for a football season. But yeah, that was the beginning of, I mean, not the beginning of, but nearly the summation of the Ryan Marler legend. Pitched the semifinal, pitched the final, gave up 1 run combined in those 2 games. Took down a really good North Penn team and then a North Allegheny team in the state final.
I mean, came in relief in the Emmaus game.
Yep, when they needed it.
If I'm not mistaken, got all 5 wins.
Huh.
Or actually, would have gotten the win in the district championship, got the win in the first round, won the Emmaus game, won the North Penn game, and then won the final.
Right. Yeah, he definitely started against Hatboro Horsham in the first round. But a great run for him. Happy for Kyle Werman, the head coach of LaSalle baseball. The clock just keeps ticking. 6 minutes and 45 seconds to play. LaSalle on their way to 1-0. The schedule, it is a gauntlet, but they've answered the first question here, and Stevie Davis nearly bounces another one out. Nice defensive play that time by Bishop McDevitt.
Stevie Davis hit for no gain by Riley Rebell. It'll be 4th down for
And the entire sports season is going to be exciting in Winmore this year.
It will be.
You have, I mean, certainly the football team has gotten off to a great start tonight. But your soccer is the defending District 12 champions. We broadcast that game last year, a disappointing loss at Emmaus against Emmaus in the semifinals of the state championship.
Chris, that was your first time on camera, buddy.
Yeah, and that was my last time on camera. You got your shot.
They run a fake punt, and Bishop McDevitt right on it.
Yeah, I don't think that fooled anyone.
So 5 minutes and 50 seconds to go.
23 Wentz on the fake.
And Bishop McDevitt maybe with a modicum of life here.
Will take over 1st and 10 at the LaSalle 40.
Interesting thought there.
Certainly Greg Bilecki and the cross-country team just have another fine year.
Yeah, of course.
Some
should be great. And then hopefully back to some normalcy in basketball. Again, hopefully.
I hope so.
With fans in the stands and broadcasting road games, all that good stuff.
And they should have a very nice team.
5th last year in the Philadelphia Catholic League.
Yeah, just missed the playoffs. But you have Horace Simmons, who will be back as a junior.
Drexel offer, St. Joe's Prep, or St. Joe's University, excuse me, offer. Interested to see what St. Joe's Prep does basketball-wise as well. Jason Harrigan, a great coach, took a year, came in, instituting his system, getting some good talent. That rivalry should be back and strong again in basketball. And now they've made a quarterback change, and this is Nevin Hopkins. We talked about that quarterback battle in the offseason. Stone Saunders won it. We saw Hopkins at the receiver position. It looks like Saunders is going to come right back into the game. It's kind of tough. I mean, certainly Hopkins, I think, will be able to throw the ball, but you saw right there, that's simple read option. Throwing wasn't an option there. And against this LaSalle defensive line, you haven't even really been able to get your stud, Marquise Williams, out in the flat. So I think you got to keep throwing the ball. They've had opportunities over the top, a single high safety, but keep an eye on the near side.
Well, certainly Saunders has shown he can throw the ball.
But doesn't have any time to do it. A sack by the Explorers. Darryl Dengo. One more look at Dengo. He's coming off the right-hand side of the line.
He was not going to be denied.
52, Darryl Dengo.
4:17 to play in the fourth quarter. 21-0 LaSalle.
Clock's ticking.
I don't know that the LaSalle special teams coach knew our stat about goose eggs, because that fake punt put him in LaSalle territory, and now the defense pinning their ears back. 3rd and long, trying to get into the backfield to take down Saunders. Saunders trying to keep the drive going. It's a screen, and it's nearly intercepted by Amir Anderson.
Yeah, I thought Anderson had it.
They actually had some room here with a catch. One more look.
If he had made the catch,
block on the outside, he would have had room in the middle of the field. But now it's 4th down and 12. 3:47 to play. The offense will stay out on the field, of course.
Bishop McDevitt will use their timeout.
For the folks that weren't with us earlier in the broadcast, one of the best, maybe the best pregame high school football atmosphere that I've ever seen. And I mentioned our Bill Wasilenko counterpart on the Bishop McDevitt side. He said they don't normally do this, but they had a bounce house, they had a rock climbing wall, they had cornhole, and they probably had a good 100 to 150 students out enjoying themselves on what at the time was a beautiful day.
They probably had 7 or 8 food trucks.
And food trucks, yes.
Some of which are still around, but I mean, if now I know they don't do this every game, but if they do, what a tremendous atmosphere.
Well, and they should, and maybe they will. And maybe there's something we can bring to Winmore here. I think there's a lot to learn from the way they do things, and it's a great football tradition. LaSalle certainly the same way, and we're excited for our own version of this on September the 11th when we have the alumni tailgate. You can come and you can sign up on the LaSalle website, by the way, for that. That'll take place from 10:30 a.m. to 2 o'clock p.m. right across from the football field. Saunders has a lot of room, but he's going to chuck it deep, and there was nobody there. It was 4th down, so he had to do it. A turnover on downs.
I think the Explorers were smart. I think they could have intercepted that ball, and they just said, let it drop.
Well, there's your captain, Ryan Moore.
Yep. Ryan Moore just stayed away.
3 minutes and 30 seconds left in the ball game.
I alluded earlier to the fact that the Bishop McDevitt fans painted themselves. What I failed to mention was that they painted themselves right before the game, and the wet paint is everywhere on the stands.
Oh, my gosh, you're right.
So the stands are tie-dye right now. They didn't or they painted places where they probably shouldn't have painted, and now it's
all
gotten
over the
everywhere.
stands.
Yes. I have to assume it's water soluble and will rinse away in the rain. If not,
tough scene.
Yeah.
3:13 on the clock. And it's Ryan Moore in the Wildcat. Needs one block on the outside and gets it as he slices up the middle. Past the line to gain a first down and a gain of 11.
And a penalty flag.
That came in late?
Yeah.
Knocked out of bounds and a flag down. Personal foul.
And it's a personal foul against Bishop McDevitt.
Yeah, frustration penalty. Under 3 minutes to play. LaSalle's just trying to eat clock.
Our player of the game here on Bob Long Sports, and really not much of a question, at least not on the offensive side of the ball. Stevie Davis, 2 of the 3 LaSalle touchdowns, a long kick return, another long run that got him down to the 1-yard line, and just a spark plug that really generated a ton of offense. LaSalle was going deep when there were really no safeties in cover 0. Didn't have a ton of success with that, and now that is a mistake there. I think it was Stevie Davis, speak of the devil, who wasn't there for the handoff. But Stevie Davis, no doubt our player of the game when LaSalle went from the pass to the run, and no doubt, Chris, they had those opportunities in the pass game as mentioned. But the running game is really where they were effective. And Stevie Davis is a guy, regardless if and when Sam Brown comes back, he will be part of the equation. I think he stamped his place on that tonight.
Well, I think what it does is it lets you use Sam Brown out of the backfield a little more. Like Alan Paterzo clearly showed that he can throw the ball tonight.
Oh yeah,
he had some overthrows, but he also had some drop passes. He put the ball in 2 players' hands that could have resulted in scores. So I think this was a great showing for Alan Paterzo. I think he's got some better games ahead of him. But with Sam Brown in the lineup, Stevie Davis asserting himself, I think the Explorers have a bright future. They also have some tough games ahead of them.
They do, but this was one of them, Chris. This was a game where I would have told you beforehand it was a coin flip. And especially with Abdul Carter and Sam Brown out of the game, this team has risen to the occasion. Bishop McDevitt, the number 2 ranked team preseason in the 4A. This is a team that has every ambition and every opportunity to win a state championship. So I just want to put that into perspective here. It's a 21-0 game. But this is a big-time matchup, proud program, really good freshman quarterback that I'm going to follow going forward. And LaSalle handled them with grace here tonight and puts them in an opportunity where I do think you start to look at the schedule a little bit differently. Before it was, hey, you win a couple of those games, you're feeling good about yourself now. Yeah, you can go beat Malvern next week, sure. Imhotep, LaSalle's beaten them a couple of years ago. Haverford School, they haven't lost to them in any sense recently. McDonough, that's of course going to be a tough one. And then your biggest game of the season against St. Joe's Prep. So through the lens of this game, you start to look at the season a little bit differently.
And the Explorers finished the season against Archbishop Wood, which last year was not a competitive game. Now Wood brings over a lot of the football players from McDevitt, which is going to
and
not this McDevitt.
Eastern PA Footbright, Bishop McDevitt in Wyncote, Pennsylvania, that shut its doors this year, unfortunately. 1:25 to go after the timeout. And we got a whistle. I wonder if that's a delay of game coming from that official. Likely not. That would have come from the umpire deeper. He's counting the guys on the field. What do you think? Too many men?
He picked up the flag. Okay.
He picked up the flag, but called the play dead.
Redo.
A minute 6, the clock is ticking. LaSalle's in no hurry. But yes, I will say this, Chris. I know that Wood has picked up some players, but Eastern PA football went so far as to rank them 3rd in the 6A, above LaSalle, who's at number 9. It's St. Joe's Prep, Pittsburgh Central Catholic, and Archbishop Wood. And don't think that these guys don't see things like that. Good move there by Moore. Taken down, and a flag comes in late. 32 seconds, and then we'll get the stoppage there as we await the call. But that very well might be the last snap of the football game.
I would suspect the Explorers will take a knee at this point.
But what do you think on Archbishop Wood? Because I'm very intrigued by that ranking, and I know that they have gotten some talent. Remember, this was a 5A team just a couple of years ago before they were brought up because of their success.
Correct.
Under the new PIAA rules, they moved from a 5A to a 6A.
And enrollment, too. They've also gotten a boost in enrollment.
Right.
By picking up students from a combination of St. Basil Academy that closed, from Bishop McDevitt that closed. So they did get a boost in enrollment. And McDevitt was a very good team at a small level because they were a 3A school. But, I mean, they had some talent.
Right. That's it, folks. We will not need another snap. The goose egg streak continues. LaSalle 21, Bishop McDevitt 0. A strong first game. The season opener goes the way of the Explorers. And on the Bishop McDevitt side, a strong Crusaders team just ran into a really good offensive and defensive line for this LaSalle team. They have a lot of good things in front of them, a strong team, proud fan base, and a schedule in the non-league that will prepare them for a state title run in the 4A. What a great game we had here tonight. Chris Carabello was with me. AJ Carabello on camera. AJ, thank you so much. Coming down from Penn State, a sophomore in college, correct. He's nodding yes. So we appreciate him meeting us halfway here in Harrisburg. A wonderful venue. Thanks to Tommy Mealy on the Bishop McDevitt side, who was very helpful in getting us all situated for this game. A reminder, we will not be on the road as LaSalle takes on Malvern Prep next Friday. That game will be covered by our colleagues at the Sports Fan Base Network. More links and information to come as the week goes on. We will be back on September the 11th, starting at 11:30 for Game Day Live, and we couldn't be more excited for it. 11:30 from Springfield High School. We encourage students and fans alike to come. Bring your signs, bring your energy. I'll do my best, Chris Fowler. Tyler Curran will do his best, Kirk Herbstreit and Rob Stott. He doesn't even need to try. He is Lee Corso in the flesh. Can't wait to see those guys in just a couple of weeks. And Chris, thank you for being here tonight as well. A great job calling things alongside you. And like you said, the last time we were out here doing something, it was on the route to a baseball state title. And now here we are calling a 21-0 victory in football. Let's now acquiesce for the alma mater. As the fireworks blast for a victorious LaSalle Explorer team, and some traditions never change, the alma mater being played by the LaSalle Band. Big props to the band for making the trek from Philadelphia out here to Harrisburg. What a nice addition to this game that was as well.
No, and they played in the rain for a little bit, but I think the fireworks in the background was just a great shot. If you were able to catch that at home, that somewhere in the distance they were shooting fireworks that literally just happened to be above the band as they played that alma mater, and the team gathered in front of them.
A good lasting image from Harrisburg as we bid you all adieu. This has been Bob Long Sports coverage of LaSalle College High School football. One more ask of all you that are still with us. Go to our YouTube page, hit subscribe. We're trying to get above 1,000 followers, and the reason to do so is we have the ability to just stream live from a phone when we get over that threshold. So it's important to us. We're getting there, and we appreciate the support of the LaSalle Network and high school fans across the state and beyond. For AJ Carabello on camera, for Chris Carabello on color commentary, I am Bob Long saying so long from Rocco Ortenzio Stadium on the campus of Bishop McDevitt. LaSalle winner, 21-0. We'll see everybody in 2 short weeks.